Hi, what's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and welcome to Phandelver and Below number 6. I'm going to just kind of run us through a couple of logistical changes that, if you're watching live, you may have noticed. And then I'll just kind of talk you through, give us our recap, and then we'll roll from there. So first of all, LB could not be with us tonight. She let us know ahead of time. She's off having fun. Friends are visiting, so that's that. Also, you may notice a new face here on the channel, and that is our good friend Cujo. Jonathan, unfortunately, had to step away for personal reasons, so he is out of the game, unfortunately, but we have our good buddy Cujo here. So let me go ahead and roll into our intro, and then I'll hopefully also give Cujo some background. So our party has come to the small town of Phandelver on the Sword Coast, originally because their good friend Gundren Rockseeker him and his two brothers learned of an old mine that had been abandoned, and then recently they think they know where it is, and it was an old mine supposedly that could generate magic items. It had some magic forge in it, and they're like, hey, we want to go reopen this mine, and we're going to try to, basically put Phandelver on the map. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to go ahead to Phandelver, kind of get stuff up. We want you guys to take all of this supplies and things that we have and bring it, follow after us, bring it along and drop it off in the town. We're going to ride ahead. They found on the way, it looks like possibly Gundren and the person he was riding with were also waylaid by goblins. They ended up taking care of those goblins, made their way to the town, and started walking around endearing themselves to the townsfolk, learning about basically the equivalency of a quest board, but basically from talking to different NPCs, although there actually was a quest board with one quest on it. And then learned a couple of things. For example, the town was currently being shaken down by this group of bandits known as the Red Brands, and it seemed initially that it was a very, just they're kind of jerks, maybe asking for money, shaking people down. And then they found out that when they went to sort of rough up the local woodcarver's wife, the woodcarver was like, no, I'm not going to stand for this, and they murdered him in cold blood in the street in front of witnesses. And they were just like, what are you going to do about it? And that was basically what happened.
Yep.
So the party said, well, they also had kidnapped the wife and the two children of the woodcarver, took them to their base underneath the old manor house up on the hill.
And that was really a line for me.
That was, yes. Yeah. That drove a lot of the discussion where people are like, maybe we should go here. And Bishop and Jake's constant line was like, there is an active kidnapping. It's happening currently. We should go deal with this. So the party met with one of the local farmer's children who said he saw the bandits coming out of a secret secret tunnel in the mountains. And they said, well, we're going to go in that way. Yep. Yeah. We all did it last time. It's fine.
You die.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
no,
to. It's a rule.
It 100% is. So they made their way inside. They met a Nothic creature, which, if you don't know, is an arcane, usually a wizard that did some sort of went too far with their magical experimentation and turned himself into a weird Cyclops-like creature. His name was Sarnak. The party called him Snack Pack. He became kind of their friend, sort of. He was like, if you can feed me the guy who's running this place, I don't like him, I'll help you guys out. So they made their way through the Trezendar Manor, clearing stuff out. They met a goblin named Droop, who was not tied to the group of goblins working for the Red Brands there. He was basically from a mountain sort of crew that were tinkerers and just came in to find parts to fix a wagon and got roped up into the whole thing. They saved him. He kind of drew a map for them, walked him through how to get through the whole dungeon. They took on this leader of this group known as Glassstaff, defeated him, and all basically cleared out the whole manor, looted all the stuff, got his magical staff that was made out of glass, and got a very ominous letter with a stamp that's basically, don't fail me. I'm paraphrasing here, but don't fail me, Iarno, which was Glassstaff's name, signed the spider, right, with a wax seal of a spider there. So something more going on. The party made their way back from Trezendar Manor with Seneth, our sorcerer, having gone unconscious twice in that fight with our homebrew rules means he had 2 levels of exhaustion. So he wasn't doing so hot. He went to bed. The rest of the party played a drinking game, which I have drinking game rules. There was a lot of people falling down. A couple people peed on themselves, trying to pee on somebody else's house. It's a whole thing. They woke up in the street, covered in their own pee. It's a whole thing.
That seems pretty standard for a drinking game result. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 of them got put to bed. Basically, Bishop and LB's character Soot got put to bed. And then Robert's character Bronson and their new goblin friend decided they were going to go pee on the town master's house because they don't like him. Bronson has a big vendetta against him. And they made their way there, but they started passing out in the process of peeing on his house. So some of it was on the house, some of it was on them. It was a whole thing.
I'm 1 for 2 for pissing on his house and his garden in the multiverse.
That's true.
1 out of 2.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
I'd take it at baseball.
And then basically what they had gone around to basically do the follow-up on all of the quests. They learned that Harbin Wester did have a sign out front basically asking, like, there was orcs were seen in a local trail known as Wyvern Tor and basically looking for somebody to get rid of them. And they kind of went around to follow up on anybody like, hey, we brought the woodcarver's wife and their children back. And she said, hey, I used to live in this nearby town. Could, I can't offer you anything, but we used to have, there's down in the basement, you might be able to find a necklace that I had when I was a kid, might be worth some money, stuff like that. And they eventually made their way to the Phandelver Miners Exchange, where they were just kind of chatting about what's going on. And Halia Thornton, who runs the Miners Exchange, was chatting with the party. And basically Bronson and Bishop left to go deal with whatever they were going to deal with. And that is when Halia made an offer to Soot being the very sort of not world-weary person, essentially saying, for those in the know, I represent the one of the world's largest, didn't say it like that, but hey, you look like somebody who's really good at sneaking into stuff and also good at keeping secrets. I feel like you would be really good at gathering wealth. And who doesn't want to do that? It sounds like fun, right? And she was like, yeah, totally. And she's like, okay, me and my friends want to establish a base here in this town. And we want to, we're going to try to do our best to really, we're going to bring up the town. We're going to really help bring a lot of people through here and it'll be good. And listen, you guys did a great job taking care of all those ruffians that were here. This other, this bandit group that was there, nobody wanted them around. They were gross. I'm glad you guys took care of them. Also remembering at the time, she was the only one they didn't mess with for whatever reason. And then said, you know what? You and I should be friends. I'm going to give you this pin and I'm going to give you the title of Fang. And Soot was very excited. She said, but here's the deal. I need to know that you're good at keeping secrets. So as a test, don't tell the rest of your teammates that you got this offer. Keep this a secret. That way I know that you can be trusted. And she was like, 100%, I won't tell them anything. And that's pretty much where we ended last time.
Oh.
And 1 month later, Soot's selling Spanx and essential oils, trying to get the diamond tier in the Zendara multi-level marketing campaign that she's a part of.
You look not smart. Here's a crystal. You love crystals? No? Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like rocks and know about current events?
Which more or less was her whole thing, is Halia does run the mining exchange, sells a lot of crystals and rocks, gemstones.
I am so sorry. I came across a TikTok of somebody selling rocks in 5-gallon buckets.
Declan's Mining Company. That's where I got the idea for the confetti sand.
You got it from? Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my god. I saw this. I was like, no way.
Yeah, Declan's Mining Company. They're a really popular TikTok brand who sells. They have their own confetti sand. That's where I stole that 100% from them.
The algorithm's listening.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
It's nothing new. Like when I went to Silver Dollar City as a kid, they had those shops, but it was like, fill up your wizard pouch, kid. Come over here.
Get your stones.
A Crown Royal bag, and you filled it up with Galena and Fool's Gold.
Yeah, she did also have actual gemstones and things as well. She also had buckets with, she was doing basically, spend some money. Maybe you'll find something interesting in this bucket. Who knows? I think that's where you found a sword, didn't you, Jake?
I did, yes.
You pulled
where
a
I
rapier out of the
sword out of a bucket. Kind of very King Arthur, but the budget's low.
And she was just like, I didn't put that in there, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
The budget's low. Also, we've got fucking Time Lord technology in that it will fit in a bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A full rapier out of just a regular bucket.
Yeah.
And hey, now it's magic.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. With the party having a list of quests, I believe that was shared with you too, Cujo. So you have
Yes.
the list of quests that Jake was very excited about, the names he gave them all, and
They're good names.
a whole list of things to do. So, with that being said, what is, I guess we'll while everybody's kind of dealing with whatever they're dealing with at the moment, what possesses, or with what you want to share, let's say it that way. Gable's gonna find himself here in Phandelver. Is this just casually strolling through? Is he on a caravan, on a cart, on a horse? How's this look?
He'll knowing him, he'll probably hook up with a caravan. Looking as dapper as always. But yeah, he'll probably be striking up a conversation with some of the people on the caravan. I think I'm sorry, I should know this, but I think in my starting gear, I thought there was like a bunch of small gems or something that I had that I could try and sell. I mean, try to impress people with.
Yeah, sure.
This one, turns out, came from a dragon's tooth. I managed to fish it out myself. It was quite a difficult endeavor, but I assure you it is quite genuine. He's basically trying to hawk some rocks that he found.
To these random people in the caravan as you're making your way in. All right, go ahead and make me a persuasion roll, and as we've established here, we're going to contest all rolls regardless, so that you don't know, you can't metagame it.
Okay.
Oh,
that's not the best. It was an 11.
Whoever, we'll say the adult of this caravan who's like right there, you're just like, yeah, psh, whatever. But their kid is like, oh my God, it's so amazing. I need to have this. And then Daddy, can you buy it? This is a dragon tooth rock. You gotta buy it. He's like, I don't. He's like, no, but when am I ever gonna see a dragon tooth rock? You gotta get it. And then you could just see this kid has got this dad just wrapped around their finger, and the dad is just like,
I'm just gonna look the dad right in the face, just smile and hold out the rock.
all right, how much?
Oh, for something as rare as this, call it 2 gold.
And he looks and all excited eyes shake, and he's like, all right, fine. And he gives you the 2 gold, and he takes the rock, and he gives it to the kid, and the kid's all excited and is trying to pretend it's a tooth and all this other kind of stuff, pretending to be a dragon. And he's like, all right. And the kid's just super ecstatic, and the dad just can't. He's defeated, but also he knows what he did. Yeah. He raised this kid in such a way. So,
okay. Gable will pocket the 2 gold, but then just look at the kid, and be like, yeah, you know what? I may have shysted his dad out of 2 gold, but that smile, worth 100 gold.
There you go.
Yeah, should have got more.
So we'll say that the caravan stops by in Phandelver, and they'll go probably to one of the Barthen's provisions, which is one of the main kind of areas. It would make sense to gather more for wherever they're off to. Phandelver's just a stop on the way for them. And you find yourself in the beautiful town of Phandelver. There's not a lot of town here. You can see a handful of different buildings, and there's a shrine that's basically an arch made out of rocks. It is a small town. And then there's a town center. Let's see. Basically how familiar, I guess, would you think, with Phandalin?
I think Gable had passed through,
Okay.
possibly to chat with the Red Brand once or twice.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
immediately upon entering the town, he's going to kind of remark like, typically they had somebody along the road last time.
I see.
Odd.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So you don't see there's a distinct lack of red cloaks anywhere present here in the town that you can see. It's just basically there's more people in the streets, like having seemingly a good time, being just about in the town. And yeah, I guess you would have known kind of the general layout having passed through here. There's a couple of farms, there's a couple of taverns, and then like a handful of different shops. There's Barthen's Provisions, which is like your adventuring gear, sort of food shops. There's a smithy, there's um the mining exchange, which is again for rocks and that kind of mining equipment, stuff like that. Town master's home right in the middle, which also and then the town hall basically also serves as like a pseudo jail. They've got like 2 cells in it, that kind of a thing.
What time of day is it?
We'll say it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Gable is going to make his way towards the shops, because I don't think there's going to be too many conversations happening in a tavern at 10 in the morning.
You'd be surprised in the way this party rolls. So, but fair enough.
But yeah, I think Gable will just sort of mill about, sort of pick up what he can from conversations amongst the townspeople.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say probably the biggest sort of scuttlebutt here in the town is this new group of adventurers who have been. They kind of came in a whirlwind. One of them got them to build a stable out of nowhere for their horses. And they summarily dispatched the Red Brands and have liberated the town from the Red Brands' presence. Also, they apparently like to spend way too much money on food, and they drink a lot.
It's money.
Yeah, yeah.
It was.
Perfect marks. If they like to spend way too much money on food and drink, at that point, he'll start heading towards one of the taverns.
Yeah, so I guess what we'll say is the Stonehill Tavern's kind of the main one that everybody sort of goes to. And what we'll say is basically you guys went off and kind of reconvened after, Bronson and Bishop went off their way, and then Soot went to go meet with her brand new friend at the mining exchange. You guys all sort of meet up. But you also notice that Seneth hasn't gotten up yet. It's been like a full 24 plus hours since he got beat up and put to bed and hasn't woken up yet.
God, did he go to PAX Unplugged?
Listen.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I guess that was a good one. So basically Soot will, have made her way back and then realize that he hasn't gotten up yet. And like still seems to be passed out from his stabbing in being brained with a morning star from a angry bugbear. Also just, the wild magic constantly throwing his body about, not great for him.
No.
So basically she says that the fact that he hasn't woken up, she thinks it's time to take him back to his family. So she's going to basically just like, I don't know, put him on one of the horses that you guys have from your newly built sexy stables and take him back to his home, which is right near where she lives, so she's familiar. And that's her plan, to do that. So she's going to leave with him. She'll be back probably tomorrow, maybe, depending on what time frames of amounts pass during this game session. So
Safe travels and Pleasant journeys.
Yeah, and she's like, "Yep, bye."
Whew.
Then they leave.
Man, that RP, that imitation from Ted to be LB for 2 seconds, just mwah.
Well, she's a changeling.
She's a
so
changeling, you know.
Any voice could work.
That's fair. That's a good point. Egg on my face.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, hi. She's in the chat, apparently. So, also, I don't want to do a disservice to LB to try to pretend to be her in the chat with her being here.
Oh, now you say it now that she's here. I get it. It's all good.
If
totally
it was,
good.
I don't know the character well enough to play it off. If it was her other characters from other games we played in, 100%, I would try to make it up. But yeah, and then I'm trying to figure out. And we'll say that Seneth left like a little like stack of gold on like the table to like pay for his tab, which is obviously way too much money because he doesn't understand how gold works.
Yes.
So there's
Did he
like
take that glass staff with him?
So here's a legitimate thing. So the way the glass staff works is nobody else in this party could use it. Just throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I gathered that this is people are like, oh, can we sell it to our good buddy Tilverton
For 500, Alex.
Yeah, I got it. I see where this is going.
Or perhaps we could combine it with a unlike magical item.
Oh, take a risk, see what happens.
I've got a normal ass shield that I could combine with a nice glass staff.
And just hope that the synthesis works out. Okay.
I got a 0% chance of using it otherwise.
Sure. We'll say that Seneth, he didn't even have time to actually attune to the staff because he was knocked out before he got a chance to attune to it. So yeah, why
Is
would
there
he...
a chance for me to walk up on Bishop breaking this staff and basically making his shield a prison shank?
No, we haven't done that yet. I wouldn't go ahead and destroy a magic item without talking to the whole group.
All right, so we'll say that Gable, you're kind of feel like sauntering might be the word to describe you making your way towards this tavern. As Bronson and Bishop are working your way towards the tavern, you'll see kind of like over her shoulder is Soot kind of got Seneth kind of walking over to the horses to kind of lay him up to get him out there, and something along the lines of, yeah, he's not awake, so I'm going to take him home, bye, and then leaves on the horse.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the horse gallop away and then sort of clock the odd couple there, and then sort of and like trip into the doorway, like, oh, bloody footsteps. There's a horse that took off rather abruptly. It just startled me out of my usual behavior. I require mead. Is this a mead? Is this a meadery? May I find a drink suitable for someone like myself here? Basically, just come in, house of fire, immediately start rambling off.
Oh, well, for the party and for the internet, give us a description of what Gable looks like.
Gable is a fluffy white tabaxi with little splotches of gray, maybe a couple like black hairs here and there. Gable is very ornately dressed in the finest of silks. His studded leather armor is cared for very neatly. He's got a very well decorated rapier at his side. He carries himself with the regality of somebody who thinks he's far above the station he's actually at. But he's got, a couple of earrings in his big fluffy ears, and despite as much as he tries to push down the fluff of his cheeks, the hair always just sort of fluffs up, giving him these little cheeks that you just want to pinch.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, well, this is what you see, kind of asking you if this is a place to get mead, gentlemen.
All right. Yes, come on in. The meat is good. I find the hard cider to really hit the spot.
Oh, right. Cider. Well, I'll take whatever they have available then. I suppose. Yes, how much do I owe you? I assume you work for the establishment? Here's 3 gold. Just find something that's top shelf for me, thank you.
Very well. I'll take the 3 gold. I'll walk over to Tobin and be like, well, we lost one high spender, but here's another. He's looking for something top shelf. And I imply air quotes with my voice.
And Tobin's like,
And I'll give him all 3 gold. I mean, Tobin's this is the best week of his life, no doubt.
he's made so much money. He's made like 3 years' salary in like 2 days.
Oh shit! Adventuring.
Yeah, Seneth's just like, here's what could a mead cost? 15 gold, like whatever.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, and he'll take like a thing of the cider and he'll put it on the top shelf, and he'll be like, oh, and he'll take it off the top shelf, and then pour a glass and then hand it to you. He's like, I don't know, do you want a job?
No, I was just being
well,
I was just trying to help.
He'll put it on like a platter and be like, do you want to?
Sure, yeah, why not? I'll take one too, but I'll take normal mid shelf, and I'll put a silver down.
He puts it on the mid shelf and then pours a glass for you.
That's fantastic.
Bronson, what shelf would you like your cider from?
Let's go mid-tier this morning.
And he's like, oh, great, it's already there. There's another one for you.
I'm feeling parish today.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll get something off the mid. We'll put something here on the mid shelf for you.
Good old college woodchuck pear.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Of course.
We'll definitely
hasn't seen the life of day in 20 years.
Pulls it out from underneath and like the cabinet on the bottom, dusts it off, puts it up on the mid shelf. Everybody always likes
that
apple.
little groundhog, that scruffy little groundhog on the label. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it'll go ahead and pour you a glass, and then he goes, well, I guess you're serving now, and he just gives it all to Bishop.
All right. I daintily pick up the tray and I bring it on over, and I'll place it, the drinks around the table here, and then I'll sit down next to Gable I'll sit down next to Bronson, and I'll be like, come on, come sit.
Thank you. I'll like dust off the mud from his from his silks. Thank you. Oh, delightful.
I don't work here, so this is what they have. Yes, I like it. I'll take a little sip, and I'll say,
Little hair of the dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't look healthy right now.
Yeah,
they are super hungover.
Did you find a bed to sleep in, or was it just choosing the rock to spice things up?
Oh, well, a bed was found for me, and then wait, is our goblin buddy Droop around?
I guess he probably would be, huh?
Yeah. So then I said these two had quite an adventure, and
yeah, he peed on himself. I mean, I peed on me too, but that's like not uncommon.
Whether you peed on yourself, it's whether you wash yourself off in the morning.
I mean, you were naked, pants down, like in the middle of the street, but it's whatever. We got it all cleaned up. We're good now.
Prestidigitation just can't change, Drew.
I'll never not see what I saw. I'll tell you that much.
Anyway, Bishop Frisian, and I'll go to shake your hand.
Charmed.
Absolutely.
I know you.
Me? Have you been to Neverwinter or perhaps Luskin?
Luskin, good lord. If I find myself in Luskin, something went wrong. It was Benjamin.
Bishop.
I was close
of
enough.
course.
Yes. Huh.
Droop.
Interesting.
Just Droop
This
says.
is Droop. This is Bronson.
I thought we were just saying names.
Pleasure to meet you, Sir Droop.
I'm a knight now. Look at that. Sir Droop. I like it.
Rising quickly.
Says, I'm going to change my name to that. So if you could all refer to me as Sir Droop.
Sir Droop.
The Droop. Got a ring date.
That's what
Happy to provide a title for one deserving, clearly.
I like this new guy. He's great.
Bronson Barley, nice to meet you.
like collapse like his entire arm.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. And he like smooths out the fur. Pleasure. Uh, Gable. It's wonderful to meet you all. I was hoping to meet someone here. Perhaps you know them. A gentleman by the name of Glassstaff.
Well, that might
Well,
be difficult.
Why is
yes,
that?
he's gone to Jesus Lathander Christ.
He's dead.
In
I want to
fact,
make an
he
insight
is.
check.
All right. Sure, we can go with some. We already on the PvP set of things. Well, I guess we'll have an insight check, I guess, versus I don't know. You tell me, Gable. Deception, persuasion.
We'll do persuasion.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see.
19.
Ooh, okay.
That would be 10. I'm not rolling the best tonight.
All right.
I hope that improves, though. That would be really great if it could.
Sure. I would imagine.
I'm going to follow that up with a perception because I'm looking to see if there's any red fabric that might be
Okay.
poking out anywhere.
Sure. Is there, just out of curiosity?
There is not. There is no blatant red fabric of the red brand.
Okay.
They're obviously like it's many colored, but not like a main focus band.
So-
Actually, we are wearing red brand.
Yeah, you
stuff,
guys
so it
have the
makes sense.
cloaks.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm wearing the
shit.
cloak, and he,
That's right,
he
I got
took
the
two
poncho
cloaks
of,
and made a poncho.
Poncho of bullying.
Oh my god.
I forgot about
So-
that, which actually makes a lot more sense for him to come right up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to say no roll necessary, that there is not presence of very clearly red brand markings or fabric on this Tabaxi.
What would you like to know from your insight?
Really, I just need to roll the perception check and not really the insight.
Oh,
It hadn't
got it.
really said enough for me to insight other than hello. Did he stutter when he saw this poncho?
What was his face like after we said that Glassstaff was in fact dead?
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but not unwelcome. Glassstaff was a bit of a, what do they call it? A prick.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
I would agree. There was an unfortunate kidnapping in town, which he was at the heart of. So,
Oh, I didn't think he could sink any lower. How unfortunate.
yes, indeed. May I ask how you know him?
Oh, just passing by once or twice, perhaps some previous business in different circles, merely meaning to follow up on some prior engagements that Glassstaff may have been involved in.
Huh. Which is why you found yourself all the way down the Dusty here in Phandelver.
Oh, no, I'd say this town is more than reasonable for a gentleman like myself to enjoy. And he's like looking at like the corners that like maybe have not been dusted
Oh,
very
definitely.
well, or like
Probably
it's
ever.
not sail past country like Luskin.
seriously the worst town.
Have you ever heard of Leyland?
So Leyland is a town that is.
Of course he has. Has he ever turned over a loaf of bread anywhere on the Tribor Trail? It came from Leyland.
So now you know where the breadbasket is, so that's good.
Well, we learn something new every day.
I like this budding rivalry of Luskin versus Leyland as like the two guys defending their hometown. I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah.
You know, Leyland does sound like a worthwhile establishment. I should visit there. Maybe spend a couple of days. Maybe enjoy some of the bread. Certainly wouldn't be finding myself in Luskin.
Time to show up in Leyland is during the Harvest Festival. We have at least, when the entire Tribor County, 45 times the amount of people that visit Luskin at any point in time.
Well, anyway,
That's right. They don't give out ribbons for prize vegetables up in Luskin now, do they? They got to import them all.
yes, with the money that the town earns from trade, we can import things and buy things from other less wealthy towns, and that's fine.
I'll
Any which
choose
way.
farmers versus pirates any day.
That's a
I would
valid
watch that
argument.
fight.
I'm
You're
curious.
messing with some old man strength in these fields. I undo a button just to let a little bit of my country chest hair out.
Classic.
Yeah,
You guys see those
it's
TikToks?
just smooth.
You guys see those videos of the cats that are offered food and they just
Yeah.
he holds it in, but there's a moment where he's like, I'm curious, and he's holding a hand just to block the sight. The ones who eliminated poor dear Glassstaff, did they find anything of note on his person?
I'm gonna look over to Bronson for this one.
They found his
hear
staff.
There wasn't anything.
Whoa, did we not? I mean, he asked a question. I gave him an answer. This guy knighted me 2 minutes ago. What do you want me to tell him?
That is the arrangement.
His name is Glass Staff. He found his staff made out of glass. That's like base level understanding, I feel like.
It was quite unimaginative.
It's like I didn't tell him about any of the other stuff that we found. Like, why would I tell him about that? The glass staff. Oh, all right, sorry.
Yes, that was us then, I suppose. And we did indeed find his staff.
Well, I hope it serves you well. Was there anything else of interest?
There was a confession note about the mother he never loved.
Yes.
He burnt it. 16 on my deception.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make that insight.
All right.
That is a 21. No, I'm sorry. 23.
Yeah.
Should be playing Rogue.
Yeah.
And James. It's you and me, Cujo, baby.
Yeah. So there you go.
You can tell
Maybe it
that's
was
a
his
lie.
father. I can't remember. We didn't have much time to read it before the Nothric got a hold of the rest of them.
That
Unfortunate.
is true. Yes, and indeed, we were asked by Halia down at the Miners Exchange to bring along his documents. So if there was some sort of interest you had in those, that's where they would be.
Well, question for the DM.
Yeah.
Would I know this name that they just dropped?
Halia? Quite possibly. Based on the little bit that we've discussed, I'm gonna, based on this, I'm kind of looking at, we're looking at what, maybe like 5-ish specific or so people amongst the greater group. And I think for the purposes of everything that happened, it would be just too perfect if she was one of those people. Because that's just like, I know it might be a little early to drop something like that, but I feel like it's just, especially with everything that's already happened in the game, I feel like that's just like, mwah, chef's kiss. If she's even, or maybe she's like an attendant to one of the people, something like that. But definitely the name rings a bell.
You see his whiskers and his ears twitch at hearing Halia. Sorry, sometimes the cider gets acid reflux going. Would you mind repeating that name just one more time?
All right. Well, yes, down at the Miners Exchange, let me just check my book. It is Halia Thornton. Thornton?
Thornton.
Oh,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Right. Would you be interested in making a little bit more money?
I'd be interested in your intentions.
Just some friendly information gathering, that's all. Just a conversation with a friend that's some hired muscle. Their presence wouldn't go unnoticed. Maybe make the exchange go a little bit more nicely.
Well, I find this curious. I do. You blow into town with your fancy get up here, and I appreciate it. I'm also dressed nicely. I have a fancy rapier. I pierced my ear 3 times last night in a drunk stupor. So we have a very similar vibe.
Another man with a Brosian tongue.
Yes, indeed.
One glance at one person's like, looking at yourself when you're fully drunk in the mirror. I look fantastic. And then the next morning.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So, Now, you'd have to take me for some sort of fool to think that you came to this town for nothing nothing more serious than a social visit with a notorious gang leader.
Like I said, we had prior business, and it turns out that perhaps they made a connection with somebody that I was hoping to speak with. That is all, truly. Besides, I mean, you all seem to be enjoying your spoils of last night, are you not, Sir Droop?
Oh yes. And he like looks at Bronson. He's like, yes, yeah, it's great. Alcohol. What a wild concept.
Yes, you'd be surprised to know that there are many kinds of alcohol, many more expensive and tasty kinds than the cider you might find here. If you find yourself in Neverwinter, you might find yourself across a meadery and honeymead.
I don't know. I mean, this sounds like, is that an invitation? Because this sounds like, I mean, I'm on board. Alcohol might be the greatest thing ever invented. I found it yesterday.
I have a cousin that rides owlbears out into the woods that actually keeps bees. Wild ones, in fact.
Oh.
Are there domestic bees, Bronson?
I imagine if you cultivate your own hive, that's kind of a domestic bee, right? It's not a wild hive at that point.
Okay, all right. It's how you keep the hives then, to be an apiarist.
Yeah, those
I
are
guess
words.
really, truly, it's whatever the bees are eating. That's what gives all the flavor anyway. That's at least what he says.
Like you learn something new every day.
He's a wild old coot.
So you want people to beat up somebody? Is that what I heard?
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, okay, cool.
Merely just to stand by while I have a conversation with Halia.
Oh.
What does 200 gold sound?
Peace.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
see-
I could do that then.
You have my fist.
I look at Bronson like, hey, that's a shit ton of money. We could go stand behind him and eavesdrop
some
on this
questions? I'm not-
conversation.
Not signing up for mercenary work. It's just a couple questions, you know. Nothing's going to get out of hand. It's just
Of course, it's just
Absolutely,
a
and
conversation.
and we have some rapport with Halia already. So,
Even
of course,
better.
we do require half up front.
Nice, shrewd businessman. I'll see to that. And he'll place 100 gold on the table.
And Droop's eyes just go like real wide. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen that much gold in my life. You don't make a lot of
you'd
gold.
have to be more like a shrew, Droop.
Is that like a rat? Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm a goblin.
That's a good point. He is. Okay, cool. I'll take 33 of the gold off the table for myself. And then I'll leave the other bits for you guys, and we'll leave 1 gold as a. Are you planning on staying here, Gable? There is a room available now.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. I probably should arrange something for myself. How are the rooms here? Are they decent? Comfortable bed?
The bed is comfortable. They do have ice. And aside from that, the door locks.
I can't tell you, I've never slept in here sober, so
Well,
That's
nice.
I suppose Phandelin's finest will have to do.
I haven't lost any of my shit. It's all been there.
That's true. I take the last gold and I throw it to Toblin, and I'll say, "You're all full up now, my man."
And he's just like, great. By the way, your buddy who paid for all the stuff and like, so he was leaving. Like, we're still building the stable though? Like, still finishing that? Is that still a thing?
I mean, he paid for it, didn't he?
Fair enough. Also, he left this in his room. And he'll just like, there's the glass staff and like a stack of like, he's like, and he like puts it there and he's like, well, this is for me. And he like, whoosh, the gold that's there. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who needs a staff made out of glass? That seems
You'd be quite
foolish.
surprised. Could fetch a pretty penny in Neverwinter.
Well, anyway, I don't want it. It's your guys anyway.
Bronson, do you fancy yourself a walking stick?
No, I don't think I'll be much, be worth a whole lot with that. Far too clumsy. Plus, I'm not dropping a shield for that thing.
That's fair. All right. I'll use it as a walking stick then. So, you've where do you get your tailoring done? That is quite fine.
This is Baldur's Gate work.
Ooh,
Hmm.
yes, yes. We do occasionally get fabrics from Baldur's Gate, but
I'm sure the second hand,
they must
not
be as they are purchased from merchants.
impressive. No, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they fetch some form of currency.
They are, and they do. So, you half identified me, but I can't seem to place you. And there is a normal amount of disdain for Luskin from somebody who's visited.
Oh,
You've
it's memorable.
met my sister Marianne. Do you travel often by ship?
I've encountered Marianne once or twice.
Hmm.
Past dealings, I'm sure. But no, she's always been quite nice. Maybe that's where I know you from.
It's quite possible. I am unfortunately allergic to sea travel, but
I couldn't be bothered to be around the water myself, so I understand completely.
Absolutely. Well, I must say you have piqued my interest coming into the town like this. Things have been unusual, and well, to have a new member come in out of nowhere. Are you perhaps working for someone where you're able to just
No. No. I am working solo for the time being. Unfortunate business ventures of the past have left me without a caravan of my own, so I consider it freelance work. Is anybody willing to accept a mere gentleman like myself?
Yes, indeed. Can I insight that?
Go for it.
All right. My insight is not super, but that's a solid 9.
I got an 18.
That makes sense to me. So here we are in town. We're off to go see Halia in a moment here. Are you I mean, obviously throwing around 200 gold like that. Are you in line for any mercenary work yourself?
Well, I suppose it depends on the job. Not too dissimilar from yourself. I would accept a reasonable contract every so often. I suppose as long as I can clean my rapier when the job is done, then all's well that ends well.
Very well.
Hmm.
We do like this. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll give him like our quest list generally. Talking about, oh, have you heard of the Rockseeker brothers?
Rock Seekers.
They're local. They're obviously they're more local to Phandelver, but they've been trying to drum up lately that they have found this lost mine that they're looking to like reestablish it. So it's a potential thing. These guys obviously were working for them, so they have a little more stake in that. But if the rumors of what this mine could eventually end up doing were to come to fruition, it would turn Phandelver into basically like a new hub for mining and magic item creation and things like that.
I believe I've heard some of the rumors of what may lie underneath this place, but specific names, unfortunately, it doesn't quite ring a bell. I assume, are you approaching the mining exchange? You're curious as well what might lie underneath.
Well, Gundren, one of the Rockseekers, he hired us to help out originally, but he was overly excited, ran ahead, got himself kidnapped by some goblins, which were dealt with, let's say, completely. They were dealt with completely. Unfortunately, his man-at-arms, Hildar, Sildar Hallwinter?
Yeah.
Is it Hildar? Sildar?
It's Hildar. No, it's wait.
Sildar.
Yeah, you got me all confused, Jake. God damn
I got me
it.
all confused. I got a lot of. I'm trying to. I have it written down. Sildar, yes, indeed. So his good man at arms died along the way, although the Lord's Alliance does seem to be willing to pay for a spell or two for him. So we're just attempting to find him and his brothers. Who knows what rewards there may be?
Well, now you have my curiosity and my attention.
Right.
I would say if you are willing to accept a gentleman like myself amongst your number, I don't have any pressing business at the moment to turn to. I'm sure I can linger in town for a few days, maybe assist where I can.
There we go. I do hate to leave a stone unturned. So let's go to the mining exchange where we may.
I
flip
would
some
not go
over.
to that outhouse anytime soon. The choke a
Absolutely
goat.
not.
Oh, right. Well, such colorful imagery. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, you all will make your way towards the Phandelver Miners Exchange, which again is not very far away. It's, I don't know, 500 feet or so from where you're at currently, because like I said, there's not a whole lot of town here. So yeah, you guys will be outside the front door of the Miners Exchange. Is there anything you want to do or say or prep before people go inside?
Gable's going to put on his hat, a wide-brimmed hat, and sort of tilt it a little bit lower.
Okay.
He looks a little, not agitated, just eager to step inside.
I'll lean over to Bronson and say, "Hey, what's our play here? How far do we let this go?"
Let's see if these intentions or what our intuitions is telling us they are.
All right, very well. And I will open the door for Gable and I'll say, "After you, sir."
I thank you. And he'll step inside.
Okay. You come inside the Phandelver Miners Exchange, which again is a relatively smaller, small shop, but it's got basically everything you'd expect something, like a miners exchange to have. You've got shelves with different rocks and things, geodes and different things displayed. It's got kind of a glass display case with some higher end pieces. You'll see a variety of different buckets with a sign that says, like, choose your own adventure, pick a bucket. And there's some there's the silver ones that are like, I forget what we established they were. And then there's the other ones that are gold, that are slightly better boxes with a better chance of providing potentially better loot, depending on how much you want to spend and how many you want to go for. And then obviously there's a variety of different other things like picks and shovels and scales and sifting materials and all that kind of stuff. And sort of behind the counter, and then sitting on a stool, there is with like a velvet kind of pouch kind of, or I guess cloth rolled out with a variety of different stones and like a jeweler's loop, kind of assessing these different things, is a human woman who, her only description we have, she does not have art, unfortunately. She is described purely as quick-witted and ruthless is the only defining factors we have to describe her in terms of the world of Phandelver. Behind the counter, and then she she's looking at this, and she kind of, as you guys are walking in, she can kind of almost just hear the gate that is Bronson walking in, and she's kind of gotten used to this, and she's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I just did your friend come find you yet? We had a great long discussion. Anyway, what can I do?" And she like turns up and she's kind of like pops the little jeweler's loop out of her eye and says, I'm sorry, I don't think I recognize your new friend. And she kind of looks to Bishop and Bronson, who she's met before. I'm sorry, I don't think I caught your name. Can I help you?
Oh, my apologies. Maybe you'll recognize this, and he'll lower the hat and reveal his face.
And you both, Bishop and Bronson, will notice like an immediate look of shock. Like her pretty measured demeanor that she's had since you guys have met her, pretty kind of even keeled or quick-witted and ruthless, if you will.
That's how I describe it.
That's how I would too. Momentarily lost and just like a wide-eyed look of like, what? And she's like,
Halia, may I introduce Mr. Gable?
Oh, Halia, we know each other very deeply. And he's going to start stepping forward just a little slowly.
She seems a little unnerved, I guess you could say, by this, and you see her kind of like put down the jeweler's loop and kind of like fold up the velvet cloth, kind of like put her hands down behind the counter, and she's like, it's so good to see you.
Isn't it?
I didn't know you were still around. That's last time I thought we had seen each other for the last time when we spoke last.
Well, you know something about Tabaxi. Turns out they may have 9 lives. So you and your friends may have eliminated one. But, well, now I'm here just to visit an old friend. How you been?
I've been good. Have you spoken with anybody else? Or
You know, I'm trying to figure out where they are, and I can't seem to remember. It's like they just sort of disappeared. I can't find them anywhere. But when I found out you're in town, well, what luck.
Sure. Well, always good to see an old friend. I could get you information if you want. That's what I'm really good at. You know that. We go way back. I'm great at finding information.
You are just psychic. It's like you knew the moment you saw me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll take
Well,
another step a little bit closer.
and you can see her. She is. There's like the slightest kind of like flinch, like as this is all happening. She's like, "Well, yeah, I could probably get you, the locations of a lot of our friends, and then that way you could find all of them, and I'd even be willing to help you find them. We could work together just like old times, just me and you. It'd be great."
That just sounds like a dream, doesn't it? And he'll look right back at the others.
Absolutely. I would love names and locations.
Yeah. I mean,
I pull
after
out my
all,
notebook.
yeah, that's a wonderful thing. You having such a strong connection to those, who linger in the shadows, dropping names off the bat. And loyalty really isn't your middle name, is it? And at this point, I'd like to make an insight check to
Sure.
see. She lowered her hands underneath. I want to see if she's got something.
Sure, go ahead and make me either insight or perception, I guess. Either one.
I'll go insight.
I'm gonna make an intelligence saving throw
Okay.
to
For
see if I understand what all's being put down. Oh, good. It's an 8. Perfect.
Yes.
My insight was a 24.
So, Holly, what I think we're trying to say is that I want to see some proof of identification the next time you sell one of these loot buckets, like you sold our friend Gable here. No more miners and loot buckets.
Yes, gambling is wrong. I look at Bronson. I'm like, I just look at him. I don't have a thing I could say to him right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with your insight there, it does look like she's doing something behind the counter.
Um, at this point,
Mm.
he is just going to turn to the others. And just for player knowledge versus, whatever, would Gable know of her connection to...
Yes.
Okay. Well, just so sorry. I probably should have been a little bit more honest with you guys. Hello, my name is Gable. I've been looking for somebody just like Halia, because she has a very strong connection to a group called the Zentarum.
Hmm.
And there are several among that number that I mean to track down and murder. So,
Can I do a history check on the Zentarum?
I feel like as somebody who grew up in Luskin,
Cool.
You
I'm
know,
happy to know some things.
you
about
can know
them.
some things about the Zentarum. Less the Zentarum, not necessarily as much on the high seas, but like thievery is thievery, and
Sure, of
bullying
course.
is bullying, as it were. So like, there's definitely dealings with pirates.
Yeah,
By
Luskin is a through city as far as things go.
I should have known. She's running this rock casino right underneath our nose, draining the pockets of these fine, hard-working, blue-collar people of the Tribor Trail. I'd have whipped you right here.
So,
Can I move around? Is there a back entrance?
there, not that you know of.
Hmm.
But now, hearing Zentarum, I feel like you're now immediately starting to question whether there is one or not.
Sure.
But before anything can happen, she will pull up from behind the counter a crossbow. You can see that it's made from really kind of darkened wood. You only get to see it for a split second, then I'll describe what happens. But very fancy kind of like metal arms on the crossbow. And the string on it almost looks like it's kind of like almost made out of silver. And she fires a shot at you, Bishop.
Oh.
And
Rude.
I'll explain why in a second.
That's fair.
You looked at her funny. I may have threatened her, but you looked at her.
I did look at her. I did it.
Does a 23 hit you, Bishop?
Sure does.
You also, strangely enough, when the trigger is pulled and the thing, it makes zero sound. No sound is made as this bolt is released. You are hit for
She got our dear soot hooked on rocks.
6 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And another 10 points of sneak attack damage.
All right.
And then I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Well, that's the thing I can do.
It's a hell of a crossbow.
That's a solid 6.
Oof.
Great. So this is a specialty ability of said crossbow, which is it hits you, and you're like, you get shot by this, but all of a sudden she's just like, he's trying to kill me. You're like, we're friends. I've been helping you this whole time. Get him.
True.
And this is a beguiling bolt from this crossbow, which charms you. And you now think that she's a trusted friend and needs to be protected. I'd like everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh,
That's bad for you guys.
She assessed the situation before she made that shot.
That's valid. I gave her like 20 minutes of creepy monologue for her to think of a plan.
Yeah.
15.
That is a dirty 20 for me.
11 for me.
11. You said 15, Jake?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I'm very sorry, everyone.
Get her stats here, which I now have to develop, which I was like, I don't
Since
know.
that is on the since that's on the arrow, is the concentration on Bishop?
As in for the in what way? Sorry.
Like
Like a
breaking
concentration check.
yeah,
Oh,
breaking
oh, I see.
concentration on that. Is that on him or is it on her?
How I don't know how you would know.
Hmm.
Okay, well, rude.
Well, I've had some encounters with arrows
Fair,
before.
but rude. Hurts my feelings to have to kill you folk, but I'm gonna try.
We'll try.
Let's see. Oh yes, chat. Droop is in the fight. I saw your
Nice
messages.
chat. Good. Yeah. Droop got paid 33 gold to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I made
he's-
sure to include Droop in on the proceedings.
All right, Droop got a 16.
Newly knighted.
Give me a stunning strike, Droop, please.
He's only level 3.
I
You
know.
wanted to claim like we're not going to drag you around as Droop for the rest of this campaign.
You were
You were
wrong. So
Sorely
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah, I know how
Yeah.
this works.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's so lovable and fun. I'm gonna smite you guys.
So
Figure it out.
So she's actually gonna go first in this combat.
I'll point at all three of these guys, and I'll look at Holly and be like, "Who's first?"
And she points at Gable. Obviously.
All right. Hey, I'll give him 33 gold back.
So Gable or Holly is gonna go first, and she's gonna shoot at you, Gable. Ooh, that's a 19 on the die, so that's probably well above your AC, I assume.
Oh yeah.
And that is 7 points of piercing damage.
Oof.
And 9 points of sneak attack, because now she has an ally next to you in the form of Bishop.
Oh boy. Okay.
But it
right.
is your turn, Gable.
Okay.
She's gonna
Might
move
hurt.
more. She would also have moved towards like the back of the shop.
Okay. So she's not like right next to me at this point.
No,
right?
she's backed up maybe 25 feet to like the back wall where all the shelves were.
Okay. Ugh. Fuck. I am going to. You know what? Sorry, dear friend. I'm going to use a bonus action to use insightful fighting on our dear friend,
Bishop.
fucking
Oh,
Bishop.
all right. I make a deception check.
Yes.
15.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I believe that will give me advantage then.
Yes, it
on
will.
this-
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So, go ahead and grab the dice out of this fancy little thing. That is a 19 to hit.
Sure does.
Okay. Can I elect to make this non-lethal damage?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make. I probably should have led with that.
No, it's all good. It's a
Oh,
melee.
God.
It's a melee hit. You can many melee hit can be made non-lethally.
Well, sorry.
No. Please.
That is a total of 18 damage.
I'm down.
All right. Well, there goes the concentration on that. You're unconscious. Damn.
After knocking him out, he'll just point his sword at her. I wonder how long it'll take you to reload. And then he's going to move directly up to her.
Ooh.
And she's like up against the wall. Next up, chat. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's Droop's turn.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Where's my good?
Do you mouth to mouth?
I'll take it any which way he'll give it to me.
More of a healing chutney.
Never mind. I retract that.
Oh, God. My stomach actually was like, please tell him to stop.
Yeah. Yeah,
His
that's a
sharp
line I
little
didn't know I
pointy teeth.
had.
Gingivitis, his lack of brushing his teeth since he was
Come
born.
on, man.
All right.
Fortunately, it was disinfected with the alcohol.
So Droop will move up to her, and then
My
he
little
will
chomper.
punch her.
Oh God, he doesn't have a weapon or anything, does he?
He's a monk, dude.
Oh, that's right. He's a monk. I
Oh.
forgot. My bad.
And he will connect with just hitting her armor class, and he will deal to her 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And then
Teenage Mutant Ninja Goblin.
and then he's gonna be like,
You hear that, fan artists?
yeah, and he will take a swig of the cup you missed that you didn't see him bring with him from the bar, and then he will flurry of blows.
It's all coming back now.
Oh,
Natural
my God.
20
He's
for
oh,
Drew.
shit. Droop is a drunken master monk.
He is a drunken
is.
master monk. He just found alcohol yesterday, so he loves it.
Yes. Jesus,
And then
what
another
they-
natural 20.
No.
Holy.
Yes.
Well, I think this cements that he is a full-fledged member.
Oh, this is the
It's too late.
greatest.
11. So that was a total of
See those nat 20s in chat.
10, 20, 21, 26 points of damage in a singular turn. And because he's a drunken master monk and used flurry of blows, he gets a freebie disengage where he just kind of like stumbles away and like rolls over the counter out of the way. And he like rolls over and he lands like on the ground like this next to Bishop. And he's like, oh, probably should have got you up. Oh, well. And he's just kind of like laying down on the ground, drunken master style, next to you, Bishop.
Gable's gonna have his sword to Halia and then look back like, who is that?
Bishop,
He is the child. He
you're
is the
you're not
chosen one.
Bishop, go ahead and make me a just a D20 roll.
Yeah, I
Um,
sent it to you.
Did you? Okay. Where'd you send it?
I should be right on D&D Beyond
Oh,
Um,
whoops.
in the game log. I sent it to DM, which I assume is you.
It is. That is true. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I see it. All right, then Bronson.
How does Halia look after all that?
She's bruised, pretty heavily bruised, and like not that she was expecting to get her shit pushed in by a goblin, but she's also pushed up against the wall with somebody that she clearly has history with a sword kind of like to her throat. So she don't look like she's in a great spot, and she's definitely feeling those like, you know, maybe a broken rib right now from these punches from Droop. So
All right, I am going to point of order. I don't
Yeah.
know if you allow the BG3 healing word or not, or if you just do cantrip. If you cast healing word, does it have to be a cantrip, or can I do a spell and healing word?
no, we're gonna
Okay.
keep it with just cantrips and healing
Got
word. But remember, it is double, so it's 2d4 for the
Yes.
healing word. So we're going with the 1D&D rules. So 2d4
Since
plus.
it looks like she's trying to fly the coop here, and
Yeah.
I don't know what's behind that door. I'm gonna prep myself a good berry for
Okay.
Bishop.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna leave the apple in the pig's mouth.
Uh
Like, I'm gonna get you in just a second, good buddy.
huh.
My bonus action, I'm gonna set the good berry right there, and then I am just gonna jump over like I'm dunking on a mini basketball goal over this counter,
Yeah.
and I am straight over the shield, dunking inflict wounds on.
Oh shit!
shit.
All right. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with your inflict wounds.
Let's go.
That's
There'll be
that-
no
that
questions.
image.
Here we go. We're waiting to see.
17.
That her armor class is 17, so
Let's
you're good.
go.
Go ahead and roll a damage. Let's see how we do.
4 d10s.
Jesus.
Shit.
Oh,
Standard
low
price.
rolls. A 2, a
Yeah,
3, a
that's
3, and a 7.
She
15 points
is.
of necrotic.
Describe to us this inflict wounds. What? Because I don't think we've ever seen Bronson cast this spell before.
Yeah, just or no, I did. I cast on the bugbear
Oh, that's right. That's right.
when
That's right.
when times got tough inside.
That's right.
It is the absolute draining of all hope when you see someone slapped with it. It's like that momentary pause when they realize the air is sucked out of them, and you can see right where the fist impacts.
Mm.
It doesn't make their veins grow black and necrotic. You can actually see there's just like this golden spiderling. Like if you were to fill their veins with solid gold, like
Ooh.
James Bond style, like
Sure.
Goldfinger.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And they just, all of those arteries and capillaries, the radiance just bursts inside them.
Yeah, she takes this and she is like, I mean, just like a slightly better roll, and he would have had it, but she's like, she's like hanging on, not quite a Jake special, but she's not in a good spot. By the way, Cujo, Jake special is when you leave an enemy with 1 health, because Jake is notorious for doing that in every game we've ever played.
I'm gonna mark that down because that has happened in every fucking one of my games.
It's bad. I roll a lot of 1s and I leave a lot of guys with 1 health.
Yeah. So it goes back to the top of the round, and it's her turn, and she's got Bronson, who just hit her with the inflict wounds. She's got Gable, who's got a sword to her throat. She sees Droop just kind of lounging over by an unconscious Bishop, and like she looks around and she's back against the wall, quite literally, and you can see her very like quickly trying to like look around and assess what her move is. How does she get out of this? And you can kind of see like at some point just this look of like resignation, that like I'm not getting out of here kind of thing. And then she looks you right in the eye, Gable, and she like reaches over to like a chain on the wall next to her, and she goes, well, you know what they say, rocks fall, everyone dies. And she pulls the chain, and all the shelves with all the rocks just fall away from the wall towards you and Bronson and her. I need everybody there to make me dexterity saving throws.
I guess I'll do this at disadvantage.
No, you're fine, because you're far enough
good.
away. Because it's gonna fall and hit like the counter and not make it
Great.
to you.
Do I?
No, I do not have shield mastery yet. I don't know. I looked because I always have it on my dwarves. I'm like, nope, you are not strong enough yet, buddy.
Levels away.
19.
Okay, 19's good. So you're gonna take half damage, Bronson.
Make it a low number if you can just roll low.
8.
Oh, buddy. All right.
Slow. You can watch it a little. It's okay. Just keep it low.
I mean,
No one's watching.
I could keep it low. It didn't go low, but I could keep it low. So that is, I just forgot the first 4 numbers, the first 3 numbers. So I'm just gonna, I have these 3. So I'm gonna say, yeah, that'll be Bronson. You're gonna take 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Gable,
flesh wound.
Gable, 11 points.
That knocks me out.
And she will also take 22 points of.
Oh my god, do I have survivor's guilt?
You're the
No
Gable
one's dead yet.
Gable's
Guys, it's been a great session. So happy to be part of the campaign.
Yeah, it was great. We'll all have new characters to hang out with Soot next week. We're going to be in Neverwinter.
So you were able to you realize that Gable is able to dodge back out of it, not getting hit, just getting hit with like errant ones. You kind of take the full brunt of it, Bronson, but you're Bronson Barley, the Lion of Leyland. You just kind of eat it. As
About 5 of them hit the shields, it's like dunk, 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 and then it's like where?
So we are officially out of combat now. And Droop kind of just goes, here you go, and he just kind of like munches Bishop's head on the goodberry to make him eat it. Here you go, buddy. Go. And then
He feeds you like a salad shredder.
well, he's good at it. He's been doing this a bunch. It's like he was given before he had character levels. His job was feed Bishop a goodberry if he goes unconscious. So, and you can see Gable. We can go ahead. Gable is there unconscious. I don't know if you have any thoughts there, Bronson.
Yes, I will. I will peel the rocks off of Gable.
Yeah.
So that his chest is able to have air in it again.
Sure.
And I will grab one of the good berries.
All right. And you will come back to consciousness there,
4 HP, by the way. These good berries are laced.
Yeah.
They're good. Ah, well, I was shot and stabbed. Did we win?
What
I think so.
is his memory of Charmed in your games?
Oh, okay. Like what kind of?
Does he
Like-
have a memory? Does he know he was
Dude,
charmed?
I got shot and then immediately stabbed. I don't think I have anything past that.
So yeah, basically, if we play this out in the course of literally 12 seconds, basically what happens is you had Halia shot you,
Mhm.
and you were like, and she was like, "You're my friend. This guy's trying to kill me. Help me." And you're like, "Okay." And then he stabbed you, and you went unconscious.
Yeah.
And then Droop fed you a good berry.
Yes, thank you, Drew. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. It's Sir Droop, but yeah.
Yes, Sir Drew, of course.
The
Bronson,
title.
good berries. For sure.
What they're here for.
Gable, what the hell, man?
Yeah, sorry. This is a con I probably should have worked a little bit better on.
Just information, dude. Hey,
Mm,
like, we're good guys. We like
I
money,
know,
sure,
but-
but like not to do bad things. Let us know if somebody is, I don't know, working for an evil spy network of ne'er-do-wells and money hoarding grubbing jerks.
you would have believed me within 5 minutes of meeting me that I would have just let that fly.
We took in a little goblin in a little thing. Yes, probably. But also,
That
like,
kinda-
hey,
yeah,
you
yeah.
gave us, you hired us. Like,
That's
you have to
true.
say, hey, this woman might have special tricks up her sleeve, because as far as we knew, she was a businesswoman.
Yeah, well, no, just don't ever take anything at face value. And he's
Uh-huh.
like doing stretches, like stretching out his back like PT stretches from
Is
all the
she-
fucking
Goodness.
rocks that crushed him.
Yeah, of course. Is she dead?
hmm
Is her body there?
Yeah.
She's full dead. I couldn't lay on hands her.
No, she had 3 hit points before the rocks hit her.
I pull the rocks out. I pull her body up and out of there.
It's pretty broken.
yucky.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the help anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you just sit down? And why don't you start talking while I look through her stuff?
Would you like some help going through her stuff? And I will still explain.
Oh, I see a donation came through. Droop gets a trinket. You guys.
By the
I'm
way,
sorry,
Ted,
Ted,
I'm going to
Droop?
need a
I don't
hero
know it.
forge for Droop
Yep.
due
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
I son of a bitch.
Unless
Ted,
you want
who
the
is
fans
Droop?
to decide
What?
Droop looks like.
Yeah, who is Droop? I thought it was Sir Droop.
Sir
It
Droop.
is Sir
Sorry,
Droop.
Sir Droop. Yeah.
Of course.
Sir Droop rolls a 76.
DM put some respect on that name.
Yeah.
Sir Droop finds in amongst the mining exchange nonsense a ring that creates flashes of light at the point of impact when he lands an unarmed strike.
Nice. Very
Oh,
cool.
shit.
Good for you, my man.
And then he's got his tattoo, which by the way, he rolled a tattoo as one of his trinkets, by the way, from a few weeks ago. That changes over the course of a few hours. This is for you, Cujo, that shows some of the greatest deeds in his life. So like at a point it had like a creation of man thing with Bronson, like reaching out with like a good berry. That was the whole thing.
Mhm.
And now it's like a stylized image of a big muscular Droop cradling a bishop, feeding him a good berry. Like
I
that's
love
his
this so
chest
much.
his chest piece right now.
Nice. I feel appreciated.
Anyway. Yeah, so you guys are looking through her stuff. Probably just in general, and then we're gonna explain some backstory stuff, it sounds like, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So probably the most notable of things is the crossbow, as I'm sure you figured out. It also survived the avalanche because it's magical.
We do
So-
love a crossbow.
It is was it a light crossbow? Yes, it is a magical light crossbow. As far as what it does, we'll have to wait and figure that out. But yeah, so I'm guessing at this point it's going to be on you, Cujo, to explain. But I will fill in because I have some stuff for you. So, basically, well, why don't you give kind of the very high level, and then I'll fill in the details. How about that?
Sure. As Gable is lifting more rocks to find more hidden compartments and whatnot, he like not even looking in your direction, he's just sort of talking out to the room. Once upon a time, a little Tabaxi worked with a bunch of shitbags, led by an asshole named Reese. He just tosses a rock. And he did everything they asked him to do. Unfortunately, that made him the whipping boy. He throws another rock. I guess they either got bored or they needed someone to take the fall, but I was left for dead in the middle of a street in the middle of nowhere after 5 of Reese's fuckfaces beat me to the point of death. So now he lifts another rock and throws it. I am on a little quest to find every single one of them and have them meet the point of my blade. It's actually relatively simple. It's not too complicated.
Yeah, no, you're right. See, ow.
Sorry. I mean, I didn't hit any major arteries, so you know what? I could at least I get that at least.
You stabbed me in the neck.
It's going to make a killer scar though.
You're right. And I'm not dead, and I was under magical compulsion, and I sure would have killed you given the opportunity. I do not hold that against you, but if we're to go forward with your little revenge scheme and also potentially finding where the damn Rockseeker brothers ended up, we're going to need a little bit more transparency. Who are these other people that you're looking for?
And that's where I will fill in the details. So
I basically went, Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Reese, who is the Bill in this scenario, right? He's the mastermind behind this. He's kind of the leader. He's the planner, right? Yeah, he's just, a very ominous figure. We'd have a whole first movie, you wouldn't even know what he looks like.
So, you don't even know my name in that movie.
Yeah, that's true. It'd just be Jeep. We just beep out the rest of his name.
Jeep? It would be a Jeep commercial?
Yeah, no, G, and then we'd have to beep it. But, so Halia was, she was kind of like like the insider person, the go-between, the information gathering. Not necessarily one of the, like, enforcery types, right? She would be the one who would do a lot of the face-related stuff. Talking to people, working, gathering information. So we had Reese, we have Halia, there was an elven rogue named Silva. She was kind of an assassin. She was much more of a, like, quite literally go in, kill people quietly, get out. I also been working on nicknames for all of them. I was trying to be like, can I do something like where everybody had a cool snake nickname, but come up with something unique? But what I have right now is I have mostly D&D monster names, but nice. Or things similar to that. There was Crag. Crag is a half orc. He's the muscle, right? He's the guy who's in there who's just beating people, brute force, intimidation, things like that. You've got Fenric, who is a pyromaniac, kind of fire-based wizard, known for fire spells, destruction, arson, elimination of evidence, things like that. Also, part of the final blow that was supposed to finish off Gable is just like, we'll just leave him on fire and kind of get out of there. Burn the evidence, as it were. We have Valen, who's a tiefling bard. He is kind of the spy type, right? Secret, spreading misinformation, that kind of a thing. And then you've got Lysa Quickfingers, who's the locksmith type, right? She's a halfling, or a gnome rogue, rather, known for infiltration, locks, traps, that kind of a thing. So you've got this group, you've got muscle, you've got silent killing, you've got explosion, fire, arson, muscle, traps and secrets and misinformation and all that kind of stuff. So you got what up? We got Dice Cream Sandwich in the chat. What's up, dude? We've got so you've got Reese himself, who kind of the leader, and then Halia was kind of like the attendant, and then these other 5, who are the kind of the main people that Halia had said, whether she was lying or not, would been able to like give you those locations. She's kind of not like, she's definitely like lower on the totem pole, kind of more of
Sure.
like I said, the more like also not notorious enough that like she could be out in public and like do it, like can be a public face. Kind of almost like an admin in some ways, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Okay. Hey, I named our quest here after Kill Bill. This is Deceased Reese.
Deceased Reese. I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Great.
But yeah, so maybe I could have led with some of this stuff, but I didn't know you guys, and well,
Yes. No,
so
for sure. Just you know, thank you for the brief descriptions that we have now of these people who will surely know you if they see you. And if we're going to be together in a group, then it's important to know who may be trying to kill us out of hand.
well, yeah. But think of it this way. I mean, if she was here, then that means that they've got eyes here.
They had, at least.
And maybe if we dig a little deeper, and he'll keep like pushing some of the rocks out of the way, might find info on your Rockefeller brothers or whatever they're called.
Sure. Yes, the Rock Seekers. Well, I
Yes.
will have you heard of the Spider? Does that name ring a bell?
That does not.
Not offhand. It's a creepy moniker,
Right.
though.
He was working with Glassstaff, or they.
Hmm.
We found this, and I pull out the little wax seal. So keep an eye out for this symbol here.
Yeah, and I'll read the note. It says, Lord Albrecht, my spies at excuse me, in Neverwinter tell me that strangers are due to arrive in Phandelver. They could be working for the dwarves. Capture them if you can, kill them if you must, but don't allow them to upset our plans. See that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on you, Iarno. Don't disappoint me. Obviously, he disappointed because he's dead.
He is dead. We did
Wait,
that.
oh, that's what disappoint. Got it.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe, you know.
That's true. Oh,
Bronson, how attached were the people of Phandelver to Miss Halia Thornton here?
After they find out she's a no good, dirty zint running a rock casino over here, I think you damn well know what that's going to go down.
That's fair. And I do, yes. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
I know.
I lost an uncle to rock gambling.
Did you really?
Right? They get the fever down in the mountain mines. Can't get it off their heads.
Fair enough. Does she have like a tattoo? Do we find anything like proof that she's a Zentarum outside of just like
Sure,
random
we'll give her
Tabaxis?
we'll give her a tattoo, let's say, which is really a stupid move for a spy to have. But we'll say that she does, or like a hidden pin or something like worked
I
into the
pulled
fabric.
dirty right here. There's a dirty flying snake right over here in the corner.
Yeah, yep.
Dude, on the OG ones, they always have one of those. They're like, ha-ha! They send that little fucker out and it poisons you. It's not the zent that kills you. It's this damn flying worm.
That's fair. Poison is a terrible condition.
Well, she might have more here. There might be some documentation she's keeping hidden from the public, maybe some dirty little secrets, updates on the location of your Rocky bros.
Yes, for sure. Although it seemed like she was looking for them as well. Although, perhaps she was lying to us. Ted, does she have a house? Does she live here?
No, she does have a house that's like right next door.
Well, there's also her house next door.
And you also
we're going in that house.
You also have a lot of rocks here. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, because I know some of you are slightly more noble, but you just killed the owner of an establishment where you know flat out has gemstones on display. Like, you know that is a thing.
I'm like, so what's our plan B, guys? I don't understand what the next steps are.
Can I find one nice rock for soot?
Sure, one nice
All right.
rock. There's also exactly 3 gold loot buckets that weren't destroyed in the process.
I
Bronson.
mean,
One for Bronson, one for Droop, and one for me.
I guess taking one more dip wouldn't hurt now.
No, for sure. Droop already got one.
The Droop gives his.
This is my last. This is my last one. This is my last one.
Hey, it's okay, Bronson. There
All
are
right.
no more.
Everybody,
This is our last chance.
give me a percentile roll, please. We'll see what you find
on,
in your
baby.
magic bucket here.
Let's go
Ready to roll.
Overwatch skin.
Oh, my God. Oh, why'd you trigger me so hard with that?
Oh, what? We're gonna dig in for that last Mercy and Brojet one. Come on.
92.
92 for the Paladin. This is so dumb. Uh,
My favorite.
it's a toothbrush that, when used, causes your teeth to twinkle when you smile.
My shiny teeth and me.
This is
That's the
your
most bishop ass shit I've ever heard of. Like,
this is
look
your
at this
chip
Luskin
chip
toothpaste I got
Skylark
here.
toothbrush right here for
Oh.
sure.
Can he not get like a +1 to charisma checks with that toothpaste? I mean, that's
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I do. I mean, I care for my teeth. Well,
What'd you get, Cujo?
I got an 80.
80. Okay. Oh, okay. This is hilarious for you, which is even
Okay.
better. A small mouse that lives in the pockets of your clothes. You don't know how he's still alive, seeing as you've been hit by countless fireballs, and you also never see it eat.
Oh my God. That's great.
And
well, it's obviously because the mouse lives on Fermunda cheese. So that's,
what did you roll there, Bronson?
I rolled a 30.
A 30 for Bronson. Okay. Don't know how much this will come up, but it's a tiny platinum figurine of Bahamut that gives you advantage on charisma checks with good dragons.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like an adult action figure.
Yeah, yep, totally.
Look, it's the big guy.
It's a mythic skin that you can modify as you want.
We just unlocked platinum dragons. This is so. I'll be honest. This is pretty cool. All right. Well, I think we should take some of this for our time and our ailments, and then I think a good chunk needs to go back and get distributed to the city somehow.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Totally.
Yes, I wouldn't feel great keeping all of this. It would be. Are there like spell component diamonds?
Isn't like for like Revivify or Raise Dead? Things
Yes,
like that?
as in those specifically.
Well, she did. She was in the process of procuring that diamond to bring back Sildar.
Right.
Oh yeah! Wow, we really dead again.
Let's see. She does. There is like a locked strong box, that like for like the actual like exchange of goods that are here.
All right.
I'll
try and pick that.
there. Okay, go ahead and make me a lockpicking check.
All right. Here we go. That is a 19.
All right, yeah, you're easy enough to pop this one open. Inside this strong box, there is 300 copper pieces,
All right.
450 silver pieces,
Now we're talking.
and 200 gold pieces. Most of them look like they're Zeniths. So, from all of the loot boxes that he bought like 8 the first game.
Thanks, Daddy Sinneth.
There
200 gold?
200 gold. There's also just like a random 30 gold pieces just kind of like scattered about, like that were kind of around, and when the rocks fell they kind of just got like dispersed.
Oh,
There is a bag of just like rando gemstones that's worth like 50 gold pieces. Small little
okay.
ones. Let's see. There is a scroll you find in like a hidden compartment.
Mm-hmm.
A scroll of silence.
Oh.
And you also find a like in that kind of secret compartment, you find there is a diamond in that secret compartment.
Ooh.
Let me just tell you how much it's worth while I look up the spell components real quick. Worth 300 gold pieces.
All right.
Which would be enough for a revivify spell. Unfortunately, you need the 500 gold version to do to bring back Sildar.
Yes.
And I believe that requires a singular diamond worth 500, whereas revivify is diamonds equal to 300 gold pieces.
All right.
As a man who's never used components, this is it's enlightening.
We're basically watching Bishop like sit there and look at these diamonds.
Precisely what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll toss this 300 gold diamond to Bronson. I'll say, hey, this might come in useful to you at some point. I don't know if you can bring people back to the dead, from the dead. I know you could bring people to the dead. You're doing it well.
I'm working on it.
Let's see.
Hope it's a little bit longer before I do, though.
And you'll also find there is like records and stuff here. It doesn't look like it's all of it, and you don't actually see. You see obviously the records that you brought her from
Right.
Glassstaff's stuff. But there might be more potentially. You also know she was going to the back wall, so there may be something over there.
All right.
Going to take a look. Make an
I'll take a
investigation
break
check.
from chasing after the mouse.
Sure.
Gable's eyes are like the pupils are completely like encompassing his eyes entirely. So right, and he'll like whisk the mouse back into his coat and approach that back wall and see if he can't find some sort of hidden switch or something.
Sure, make me an investigation check.
Can I give him the help action?
You sure can.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you realize that you have a familiar that lives in fear its entire life of its?
It's great. I don't know what the problem is, guys. It's fine.
It's very cat-like. That's all.
Yeah, he like tries to sneak out, and I'm like, it's fine. Sneaks him back in. That is a 17.
All right, yeah, you actually see that next to the chain she pulled, there's like a fake piece of like the wall that when you press it, it kind of like part of the wall shifts and moves back, and there's a tunnel that leads down.
No telling what we might find down there. The Zentarum are quite crafty with their traps and other security measures. You may need to take some extra care.
Oh, perhaps we should take a quick rest and regain some of our constitution before we saunter on down there. I go lock the front door.
Okay, sure.
That's a marvelous idea.
Sure.
I got 4 health.
Jesus.
I also
can-
have 4 health.
Yeah.
You guys want to push it to the limit? I have plenty of healing right now.
I think we should just take a short rest and then explore it.
Okay.
I'm down for a short rest.
If that's cool with you. I mean, Bronson, if you don't want to wait and you I just who knows what's down here. I don't want you burning spells.
As long as how long is the short rest?
An hour.
Okay, cool. All right.
I mean, we could say maybe we could continue searching through. And
Yeah,
we'll
it's-
say it
it's
took us
light-
an hour to
light
find this stuff.
Light activity is allowed, so go for it. Yeah, you can kind of. This could have been happening while you were searching and talking. So you guys can go ahead and roll your hit dice to get some healing.
All right, let's see. And then after that, we might need more.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's only 3d10. 11. I can add. All right, I'm doing decently. Bronson, could I perhaps have one more berry?
Absolutely. Here you go.
You are a gem.
I will cast a second level spell slot for aid. And I will give everybody 5 more hit points.
Hell yeah.
That's
All right.
temp, right?
Ooh,
No,
they're
it's-
regulars.
Oh shit.
Yeah, your maximum goes up by 5 and you heal 5.
Sweet.
All right. So you guys are able to get some healing there and then continue to head into this little tunnel, I guess. How's the marching order? This tunnel is about 5 feet wide.
Gable, how are you at peeping on things as we investigate our way forward?
Oh, darling, I'm one of the best. But seriously, if you need me to go first, that's fine.
Okay. I mean, it's a thing I dabble in, but I wouldn't say I'm phenomenal at it.
I can do my best.
All right.
I can be in the ice cream sandwich.
Sure. Droop, why don't you stay in the middle as well?
Sure. And you guys continue. You go into the tunnel. It goes down for a little bit before it starts curving its way back upwards. And I'm assuming you're looking for traps as you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check, if you would.
I was kind of hoping you'd say a perception, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I still have that charge from the beginning of the session, don't
Yeah, you do.
I? I'm gonna go ahead and use that.
Okay.
Because that gives advantage, right?
Yeah, you can wait till after you make the roll
Okay.
and then spend
Okay.
it if you like.
Bronson, you
Oh.
want to hit him with a guidance?
Absolutely. You
I
got
wouldn't turn it
this.
down. Thank you. That is a D4, yeah?
Yep.
That 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you realize that it goes down and then like right before you are about to go through like whatever the wooden like the kind of there's a like a ladder that goes up, and what's odd is you wouldn't think to do something like this to put a tripwire as you're climbing a ladder, but there is a tripwire right across about halfway up the ladder, and you catch it right as you're about to. You're like, oh, that's. And you're not exactly sure what it does, but there is that tripwire there. Would you like to attempt to disarm this trap?
Yes.
Okay, make me I guess it'd be a sleight of hand check.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna use that charge.
Okay,
We're
all
gonna-
right.
We're gonna do that. That 2 is not gonna.
Yeah,
We're
fair.
not gonna do that. It's not much better. It's a 12.
Ooh.
Mm.
You're like, okay, all I gotta do is like put a little like a pick here and like a pick here, and then I could just wrap it around and then it'll stay as if it was fully under tension. And you're like, totally got this. You do the one and you're like, dude, we got this. And you're like, cool, ready to climb. And you realize that like you didn't tie off the string. So like you're like, cool, it's under tension. And then you just watch as it goes like slowly like and it like unravels and the tripwire. And then I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. I'm gonna say this is a disadvantage because you're on a ladder.
God dang it. All right, cool. Oh,
Perfect.
come on. Come on, dice. That's a 9.
All right, you're gonna take 8 points of slashing damage as like a scythe blade like
Oh.
from the wall like comes across and slices at you.
Imagine his ears, like the tips of his ears get chopped, so he's a little stumpy.
Sure. But it doesn't look. It looks like you'd have to manually reset this trap. So you've
Okay.
safely triggered it for everybody else now.
I look up, I say, good work.
I look down, his hair is shaved bald, his ears are chipped off.
Ooh.
Your help.
Mhm.
And you're able
Rocking
to
the spark wand.
you're able to continue up and push open what is like a. It goes up and it kind of slides, and you can see that it's actually like a false bottom, and you see like the underside of a bed.
Aha.
I will look down and just hold a claw, finger, whatever.
Sure,
It's,
yeah.
it's D&D. It's a finger.
Yeah.
His mouth, and slowly and quietly open.
All right, yeah, you do, and you can see again. It's in some room. You slid this kind of way out from the underside of what looks to be some form of bed, and you're able to slide it open. You know, you can crawl out from underneath the bed if you'd so like.
Yeah. I'd like to be as quiet as possible.
Go
if
ahead
I
and
can.
make me a stealth check then, please.
That is a 17.
All right, you on your kind of belly crawl out from underneath it. You kind of peer out. And you can see that this is a relatively just modest room, and you kind of scuttle your way out, stand up, and you can see there's a bed. There's obviously a door out of the bedroom. You can see like a wardrobe. You can see like a footlocker trunk at the bottom, and then like a nightstand with like water, like a basin and a cup and stuff like that.
I'll signal to the others to start climbing up as I go and slowly like creak open the door just a little bit.
This room is, let's see, this much on it? Not really. It's a small, just like single, it's like a ranch, basically, house. And you can see as you peer out, you can see like kind of a main like living space area with like a table, some chairs, and you can see another door that seemingly would be the front door of the house, and another door that leads somewhere else, maybe a kitchen or something like that.
Do I need to roll like an insight? Does it look like anybody's lived even in here? Or is it just like?
Do I walk out the door to see the miners exchange right next door because this is Hallia's house?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'll do that. This makes sense to me.
This is Holly's trap house.
Yeah, she lives next door to the miners exchange and has a secret. There's only 9 buildings in the town.
Sure.
Well, it's not like Luskin with 10.
Oh, it's not like Leyland with 7 either. So
But those 7 buildings, man, they make real good use of them.
One of them is a
Gable, why are you
multi-purpose
taking his
building.
side? You just hate Luskin. Whatever, guys. And I'd storm out back to the miners exchange, but I locked it.
All right, hang on one sec as you storm out of this building here.
Weird campaign long fight about
Yeah,
these
about
two towns.
the towns that they live in. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So you're like, whatever, guys, and you go to grab the door and you pull open the door to leave. And as you do that, you realize that as you're walking out the door, your foot kind of just right as you're like, as if someone was coming in the front door of the house. Would have stepped on this, but you are leaving, and your foot is on a pressure plate at the moment. You feel it as you step on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. It hasn't triggered yet.
Sure.
But it also is still under pressure from your foot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, this
you are in a rogue member of the Zentarim's house.
Mm-hmm. This is Hallia's house, though. I can be sure of that.
You can be sure of that.
Well,
more so now than ever as your foot holds this pressure plate down.
Hey, guys. Get out of the house. I'm on a trap currently. My left foot is on this trap. Everybody leave, and then we'll see if I can do anything about it.
You seem strangely calm.
Well, what could I do, Gable? What could I do in this moment except get you guys away from it before whatever happens? Bronson, can you toss me a berry?
Godspeed, my friend. Dante, bless this mess.
Do you want to try to do anything?
I'm gonna try and disarm it.
Did you want to like try to see if anybody else can like look around and figure out what it is, or you just like get out of here, boys? I got this one.
That was my instinct, right? I'm thinking like a Bouncing Betty style trap, and I don't want everybody else to die.
Just blown up, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll approach and just like look down at the plate and be like, or I could just help you figure out.
Sure.
If you want, I don't want to step on your toes. You being noble and
no,
religious, I guess.
No, well, yes, but
Drip goes, yeah, and he opens up the window and climbs like out the window.
No traps on the windows, I see.
Just lucky, I guess.
Just lucky.
Windows don't really open from the outside.
Can we perhaps
Fury of the Small
for what this might do?
Sure. You had to make me an investigation check.
I will offer the help action.
Sure.
Nice.
Let's see how we
This
do.
is- Let's see.
You definitely need to get
Go.
a modifier in intelligence. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Investigation +2. That'll round me up to a big 7. This
Well,
is a trap.
It is a trap. You have triggered it, and as long as the pressure stays exactly the amount that you're having right now, probably won't go off. She did also have a rocks fall everyone dies trap in her shop,
Yeah.
and had a swinging scythe
Uh-huh.
blade on a ladder, which is the most devious place to put a tripwire. Because who
Uh-huh.
thinks about a tripwire on a ladder? Like that's just cruel.
Yeah,
Gable
it's just...
Gable thought about that. He found it.
He did.
Mm.
The hard way.
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
I think now is a good time for you guys to get away, and I will attempt to disarm this from here.
Give me just like 2 seconds, and he's gonna run back into the bedroom.
It's just like look through
Start-
stuff.
Yeah, just quickly look through any of the stuff.
I need a montage.
Yeah, right. All right.
All right, I'll wait. I've got nothing else going on.
Just beads of sweat on Bishop as he stands there and hears you rummaging through wardrobes and things. Yeah, you are. So you've got the footlocker trunk and you've got the wardrobe on the wall. Seems to be like the two main things that are in her bedroom.
I would like to check the.
This is.
I would like to check the footlocker for traps.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Sure will, and it's gonna be great. That is it's a 10.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good. It's probably just a footlocker.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
You gonna open it?
open it then. And
Okay.
I'm gonna preemptively roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you open the footlocker, and as you're opening it, you're like, okay, you can see like there's definitely like a layer of like fabric there. And you can see, it's kind of you're opening it, and as you kind of push it up the rest of the way, you see like just at the last minute the little like thin line that like pulls. As I need you to make a Constitution save as a little spray of poison. Just
Lock this house.
none
That
of
is a dirty 20.
yeah, you're just like, oh, and you just kind of waft it away, and you avoid the poison, and then you're able to kind of pull the fabric to the side. It's a lot of just general kind of clothes. You can see cloaks and things inside here. As you're kind of digging through, you can see a lot of it looks like it's not really been worn. Most of it's kind of dirty and dusty and kind of like it's just been in here for a while. There is a cloak in here that looks to be a little cleaner than everything else. Like it doesn't seem to be really affected by the dust too much. And as you're kind of taking the time to look around, you notice that actually in like the lid of the footlocker there is fabric. But you realize that you can kind of see like looks like there's something pressing like inside said fabric, and you're able to kind of cut the fabric away, and there is some correspondence inside there. It looks to be records of different kinds of transactions within the Zentarum. And you've seen these, but you've never really messed with them. But you're familiar that it is something related to Reese-related stuff, but it is coded in some kind of a cipher. You were never kind of the person that dealt with this, and you know that her as more of like the admin person would like come up with these kind of things. So there's a cipher here to figure out, but it's some sort of correspondence in some way in a coded message.
Okay. I'm going to pocket all of that.
Sure.
Along with all of the fabric, even including the cloak that's a little bit nicer.
Sure.
And I will approach Bronson and just drape one of the fabrics around him. Be like, there you go. It might look a little bit better than the two red brand cloaks.
Agreed.
All right.
I think the poncho is fetching.
Of course.
At that point, I will look to the others and say, well, think that's all I needed.
Let's go drinking. Oh wait, you're
Hi.
stuck in a
Okay.
trap.
I have an idea. I don't like it, but it might work.
All right.
This is like in the doorway. that
Yeah,
he's
like right
standing in.
when you step in, there's so like, you know, again, typical thing is you're gonna expect the trap to be on the door. But and in a advanced thief maneuver, the door itself isn't trapped. It's when you think you're safe and you step in.
The threshold.
The threshold is right on the other side of the threshold is a pressure plate.
Well, I could run and tackle you out the front door, therefore maybe alleviating any danger from the trap that's inside.
I'm not against it.
Bronson.
Like a plan to me.
All right.
Alternately, you guys could tie a rope around me and just pull.
Oh, I like that plan. I don't have to get dirty.
Yeah.
I
pull
go
a
over
rope out of my
to Bishop.
bag.
just taking a precaution, and I give you another good berry to put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put
Bite
it between my
down,
teeth.
but not through the tongue.
Yeah.
Like a like a gag.
Yeah.
Just so sad and defeated. Having a bad day. Yesterday I felt like a hero. Today, less so.
There's just no way I can help on this at all. I am
Until something happens, yeah.
Yeah, I give you guys my backpack with all of my stuff, and I grab the rope and I tie it around my waist, and I'm like, Gable, that's my backpack. Don't steal
I
anything."
was just looking at how well put together it is.
Yes, I have a wonderful waterproof satchel in there.
Who's ever
Do
making
you?
the skill check, I'm just, you can do it. I'm giving guidance. That's all I got.
All right. Ted, before I do that, can I try to disarm this trap from here?
Yes, I will tell you. I'll tell you two things.
Okay.
If you disarm it and it goes poorly, it will likely trigger,
Yeah.
and you will be here in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance you do it,
Mm-hmm.
but if you get pulled out of it, the chances of any damage you would take are going to be less than if you're there and you trigger it while you're standing on the plate. So just as a thing to consider. Now, maybe you roll well, Jake. Maybe you make a good sleight of hand check and you disarm this trap.
It's possible.
Or, you know, you trigger it and you're in the whatever kind of main area of whatever goes off. Or you could take the risk of being pulled free, definitely triggering the trap, but hopefully being pulled far enough away that the damage is minimal, if at all.
All right, let's do that. I like that second plan.
All right.
I'm going to roll sleight of hand just for fun to see what it would have been because I like that. But then I'm going to not do that. That would be a 12.
Yeah, you would have failed.
Yeah, it would have failed. That's a good thing we decided on doing the exact opposite. Okay, what do I do instead?
All right. You're tied off. I need Bronson, you're the strongest. So would you like you to make an athletics check? And I'll say with the assistance of Droop and Gable, I'll let you make this athletics check with advantage. And this will determine how fast and how far you pull Bishop from this trap.
Oh, got this. Let's go. Let's go. Advantage roll. 16.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Hell
going to
yeah.
roll this.
That's right. My contribution along with Droop's only counted for one help action because I'm sure our strength is not the best.
No, Droop's probably got a 14 strength. His stats are dumb.
Let's see. All right. So you watch as I roll some of the worst rolls I've ever done. I rolled 17 on 8d6.
Woo-hoo.
As you are pulled free and you hear as a just fireball goes off in the front room of this house and just blows up the house. You are pulled free. You're being pulled. You get buffeted as the explosion kind of helps push you back.
Mm-hmm.
And you are only going to take 5 points of fire damage as you are thrown from this as the fireball explodes right in the middle of her house. And now her house is on fire. And obviously you hear like from like the townspeople, like, what the fuck is happening? as a giant. They see you being yanked free with a rope, and the house explodes. But yeah, there you go.
Singed, half bald.
Oh, it's a
Spent
wonderful
good
look, darling.
berries.
Dobby is a free elf now. I'm gonna kind of dust you off a little bit.
Oh, well, that could have gone so much worse. I walk up to the people. I'm like, hey, yes, hello, everything's okay, mostly. Let's go talk to Sister Gariel or something.
Are we out here like Officer Barbrady? Nothing to see here. Like
There was swamp gas. There was an explosion of swamp gas.
You neuralizing these people with your Men in Black?
No, just with
Gaslighting
my
over
shiny
here?
teeth.
Fair enough.
Man who brushes his teeth around these parts, he can't tell a lie.
In Luskin, they have toothbrushes.
I'll give you that. I'm still not convinced on this brushing your teeth thing.
Yeah, it's a small vanity, but why not?
Yeah, why do it when you can press the away it,
I can't do that. Can you do that?
Me? No.
No? Okay.
No. I can stab people. That's pretty much my contribution.
That is most of mine as well. With
I just grow a little bit of mint as I'm walking by and pick it up and I chew my cud.
Nice. All right, that does work. Okay. Yeah. This turned weird. This turned into a weird thing that happened around Halia and her death.
At the end of the day, you ousted a known contributor to the Zentarum. You've eliminated that threat, and he'll reveal some of the documents. Came across some valuable information, and you've come away with several hundred gold worth of items that were being used for nefarious means. I'd say that's a heroic deed among any others.
That is true. That is
I somehow feel as if we've lost some reputation in this town, though.
That also feels true. I think both of these things can be true. All right.
We keep showing up with dead bodies, even if they are righteous dead bodies, and haven't had a conversation. You know what? Actually, never mind. Harbin Wester.
Yeah.
He can't take care of his town. We will.
Yes, for sure. I go to Tilverton.
All right. Just straight over there. Like,
yeah, I mean, do people in the town say anything? Do they come over to the house, or are they trying to put out the fire?
They're trying to put out the fire. Yeah.
Okay. I will. Then I'll stay to help put out the fire, I guess. And then I'll be like, "That was insane." I opened the door and it blew up. Did you know Halia Thornton was a member of the Zentarum?
And the townspeople, like a general, like, oh my God, Zentarum right in our town. Oh my goodness.
It's insane. This is a there's been a lot of trouble in this town lately. You guys are unlucky.
Just think if a child had opened up that door.
There's a lot of people in the town are like, oh, yeah, oh my God. And a lot of them are like, yeah, it's so crazy. All this started happening when you guys showed up. It's so wild. Like,
yeah, and our fire mage isn't even around anymore, or our other fire mage. So it wasn't us. But no, seriously, this is bad news. Weird things have been happening in your town, and I promise I will get to the bottom of it. And I flash my sparkly, shiny smile.
Yeah, you're definitely not cementing us as the problem with your flashy teeth.
These are the circumstances I've been given, Gable, and I will just deal with them.
Whatever you choose to do is whatever you choose to do.
Yeah.
I'll just be over here looking at this crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, Tilverton can identify magical items.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you have your logo of Tilverton.
I do. I have a big dragon crest with a T in the middle of it on my armor for a discount.
He's constantly always be branding.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna bring
Bishop.
How tall is Bishop?
A bishop? Oh, I think he's just like 5'10", just a normal height.
The munchkin of lunchkin.
Hmm. That hurts my feelings.
All right.
5'10" is a normal height for a human.
You do realize he's going to be fixated on this for the rest of the day now, right?
I puff my hair up a little bit taller. 5'10's a fine height.
All right.
Pedro will get this. He has the Wicker Park bartender receding hairline, but it spikes straight up halfway through the head.
Oh, God, no, I don't know.
All right. So you make your way over to Tilverton's, I guess?
Yeah. I guess we should go there. Maybe go to Sister Gariel. And
How much money do we have right now? Do we have a count on this?
do I have a current count? I have all of the money we just stole
Sure.
from a dead woman's shop.
Sure.
So that
The evil
is-
woman's shop.
Yes, that is converted to gold. That is 255 gold. And that diamond worth 300. We got paid. Oh, I'll look over at Gable. I'll be like, hey, how about the second half of that payment, my man?
Well, the last time I recall discussing the payment, you actually gave it back to me before you threatened to kill me.
That's a good point. You should pay my compensation.
Money.
I'll give another 100 to the others.
All right, good. Hey, we'll take it so we can buy this bag of holding now.
Yes. There we go.
That
I'm
Tilly
happy-
has available.
I am happy to be a part of this.
Yes. So Ted, that puts the group money. If we take the 200, that puts us at 55 plus random gemstones worth 50. So 505 group dollars right now.
Okay. All right.
Bishop bucks.
Bishop bucks. Right. As long as you have them, they're bishop bucks because that's your trinket that they're
Yeah.
bishop
We can
bucks.
buy a PlayStation 5 that overheats now.
That's true.
Don't
Yes,
say that
we
out
could
loud.
buy-
Mine might hear you.
Yeah, we could buy a mediocre graphics card.
Just do a summoning circle before you play Final Fantasy this week. Just make a small circle, make a prayer,
Mm-hmm.
give it an ice pack, put a bag of peas on it.
Thank you for now making me terrified that my PlayStation's gonna overheat.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Nothing.
It
Don't
did all
watch
right with the
TikTok for very long.
demo.
Tilverton, how's it going, my man?
And he's like, "Wow, you look burnt,
Bad. Yeah,
real
well,
bad. You look like you've had a bad day."
Oh,
This is
God.
our new friend Gable. He is on a revenge mission.
Gotta love revenge.
It's
Great.
certainly something.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but it sounds all right.
Hey, this here staff, which somehow survived that explosion. If I was gonna combine it with my rapiers, what would that look like?
He goes, "Well, I don't know if you know, but a stick and a rapier are very different.
Yes.
I mean, we
Just
could
gonna be
we
muted the whole.
That's
this
fine.
Whole,
well, I mean, we could try, but there's a chance that one or both just gone,
Hmm.
like all of the, just no magic, and
Yeah,
then
that's fair.
well,
How much
I mean-
does that cost though for this?
well, it's not a small amount of money."
I'll give him the eyebrows.
And he
And
goes,
then I take one of the scrolls and I slap Bronson's chest with it and I yell, Tilverton.
"You put it on his chest."
Yes. Yes, I do. I put the symbol of Tilverton on his chest.
Well, you're man of your word. More branding,
Mm.
always. Well, I mean, if you're willing to take a risk, and your goal is to have the rapier with magic staff powers, yes?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that to my rapier. Although Bronson's shield might be a good vessel for this magic.
That's more likely than pointy stick and a glass stick. Too many sticks.
We've all had that problem.
I don't know your life.
That's true. But a glass stick and a shield, those are more reasonably compatible.
Well, it's a lot of abjuration, which is shieldy magic. Shield
Of
and
course.
it's closer in the grand cosmic theme of magic. So maybe.
Maybe. So
Well, like, I mean, this is not a small. This is a magic. This is quite the magic staff that we have.
no, absolutely.
This is like, I mean, staff. I would give you money if you want. I'll buy it. Probably
what are we
right
talking
now.
about? What are we talking about?
I mean, we can maybe do an exchange, or maybe like, I don't know, like a 500 or more for this kind of. It's a pretty good staff if you can use it.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is, which is why I wanted to get Bronson to be able to use it. Bronson, what do you think? Do we take the gamble? Try to turn it into a shield for you? You'll be Bronson glass shield? I don't know.
Very clever.
I'm down to give it a try.
I mean, it's gonna take like at least a whole day, maybe 2.
Come on, Tilverton. Just give me a number. Give me a number
Of like
of like how much it's gonna cost.
7. Oh no! All right. How much it's gonna cost to do the synthesis to bring them together?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be very clear: there's no chance, or there is a chance, nothing happens,
Oh,
and the staff is gone forever, gone.
I understand.
No more.
Yep.
Wow. All right. I could try this for like 250 gold pieces, maybe 300. What are you thinking? Again, you might be like,
what do you got for sale today?
And he's like, oh, and he gives you the list of all the items that I already gave you.
Oh shit, a bag of holding. Well, never mind. I give him 450 gold. Take the bag of holding.
All right, you now have a bag of holding.
We will come back and try this later, but we aren't liquid enough right now. And I put the staff in the bag, and then I give it to Bronson. I say, here, you hold this.
He says, well, hang on. As though, from afar, I need you to roll me a percentile.
Damn it.
Because the chat says you get a trinket.
So, all right, I can do it.
Go ahead and give me a percentile roll, please.
45.
5. You have a jade figurine of a lion. When you pull the tail, it causes the lion to roar.
Aw.
Imagine like a battle cat like figure from like He-Man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we handed these out as Happy Meal toys about 8-9 years ago.
Horrible appropriation of my people, but that's fine.
Leyland days. Hey, what? They do call me the lion after all.
Oh. I understand now. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so he has everything that was available. I will point out to you, Bronson, that he does have those gloves of the artisan there, which you were originally trying to get the arcane kind of like multi-tool thing for Droop. Originally, but the gloves of the artisan do a similar thing, but they're not really combat efficient, but Droop isn't an artificer anyway. So like I know you did put money down to put that.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you want to go for that, it's also cheaper. So
it's the same thing. It's trying to help him with his now can we kind of metamorphosize this as we've gotten there? Could those gloves be a little bit more multi-purpose? Maybe maybe a +1 one place and a +2 on the skill side,
Oh, I see what you're going for. By the way, you get a Happy Meal toy, Bronson. So
Yes.
chat, go ahead and make me a percentile roll, please.
Nice.
Chat loves trinkets.
Got a
We
lot
love
of these
trinkets,
back
too.
home. Give me the
Trinkets are nice.
grimace.
What you get?
6.
That was close to the cursed stone, but you didn't get that, so that's good.
God.
That's rolling an 8. the cursed stone.
Is that the goat stone?
No, the cursed stone of pH, where a
Oh,
pH appears in the
no.
middle of your name and you can't remove it, but it's silent. That was Jordan's contribution. Where you get a silent pH in the middle of your name.
That's fantastic.
BRONPHSON.
You get to pick it somewhere in the middle. All right, Bronson. This, sometimes I question what I do when I give people things, but this is what I came up with, and it's for a cleric. So this is one of those fun things where the trinket isn't a trinket so much as it's now you have a creature associated that's coming your way. Your choice. You get either a small flying lemur, an emerald spider, or a two-tailed cat that's from your temple grounds back in Leyland. I don't know. You can have your own Momo if you want. You can have a Momo. You can have an emerald spider or a two-tailed cat. Your call.
Can it be like a little like very Pokemon like? Can it be a little two-tailed like mini lion?
Sure.
Or
yeah.
Oh man, that or a lemur. What do I get, guys? That's
it's a flying lemur too. So
it's a flying
it's
lemur?
basically Momo from Avatar.
Could be Momo. Oh,
yeah,
Momo.
you gotta go with Momo. I'm the lion. A lemur. Yeah, I need the lemur. I need.
All right.
We need the lemur of Leland.
lemur of
Oh my god.
my god!
I like Leland now. I was against it, but now I'm pro Leland.
It's a little known fact that a long time ago in Leland, there used to be lemurs everywhere, but those dirty Luskanites came there and were trying to sell them off as a exotic pet, which was now established why there's rivalry between Luskin and Leyland. Is they were, and it was
animal traffickers. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very cool thing that people want, and it lowered the population. I'm sure there was money exchanged, like, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money and we'll take some of your lemurs and go.
There's a bunch of from all the lemurs that have been let loose from the pet owners. There's lemurs that smoke and are in gangs south of Luskin. They started their own commune over there.
It's an invasive species.
There are a bunch of rough lemurs over there.
It's an invasive species on the Sword Coast.
I imagine
It's
just
just one
lemurs on pirate ships.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lemur.
I mean, yeah, I guess it also would be a flying lemur feels like better than like a regular lemur if you than like a monkey, which is also a common thing for pirates, right? Flying lemur, that's like, like it falls off the ship, it just flies back on. Like flying lemur is the way to go.
100%.
100%. My sister has one.
Of course she does.
Yes, I recall. They were quite friendly.
Yes. His name was Binky.
Oh my god.
I didn't name it.
Oh,
Binky.
That's the benefit of trinkets, folks. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes also, for those of you who don't know, Cujo, you probably don't know this, Bronson has a chest tattoo that's the symbol of his goddess that works as a holy symbol for him.
Shit.
So
You can't see it with all the hair.
Yeah, the hair kind of hides it. But these are the kinds of things these trinkets can do. They can be goober, weird things like, a lion Happy Meal toy or an actual living creature. Who knows?
Wow.
Anytime Bronson
like
tries to
mine.
show it off, I'm just like, it's like a shag carpet. Just-
I spent a lot of time working with a lot of different people to come up with all of these trinkets. So
I love that. That's super cool.
there's a lot of fun random stuff in here. Some people get cool lemur, some people get moss tattoo or moss underwear, right? It's whatever it is. So-
like you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, feels like this town should have a sheriff or something. That house just blew up and people were like, oh no, and that was it. Guy got murdered in the street, nothing.
Well, this is a relatively
Chaos! Oh, all right.
No, Drew, bad.
Wow. You guys are no fun.
I mean, I'm down for chaos whenever, but I prefer controlled chaos, which is an oxymoron. I'm well aware, but there's a more fun little chess-like game you can play. But
you guys
with this
were-
being a small town, you're not likely to come across any town guard or anything like that.
I mean, they did let all those other guys come in and take over, and then you guys said you were gonna get rid of the guy in charge because you didn't like him. That's why we peed on his house or whatever.
I didn't. I said we never said we were going to get rid of him. We said we were going to talk to him.
Oh, I thought.
No,
Well,
Harvey
I,
Western.
I thought it was like we're gonna talk to him, not like
No.
kill him, but like depose him.
Oh, probably not. I mean,
Oh, all right.
maybe hold an election.
I'm
that
having
could
a
be
hard
fair.
time. Like, I don't know. I
Me
feel
too,
like we
man.
have different like avenues we go down. Sometimes it's like, oh, violence, and then other times it's like discussion. And then it's blowing up a house. I really
Well,
don't.
Soot's not here, so
Right.
violence and discussion happen. Violence happens more. Discussion happens less.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's go talk to Sister Gariel, I guess.
Did you
'cause-
guys want to buy anything else while you were here
Oh,
at Silverton's?
let's identify the stuff with the
Yes.
crossbow.
Okay.
Crossbow,
I'm too
and then-
enamored becoming a first-time lemur owner because I'm just cradling it. Little papoose.
Sure. This is the I'll make up a D&D Beyond thing for it so that you have it, but it's the Siren's Whisper crossbow, which the Siren was Halia's like name in the group there. It's a +1 crossbow, so you start right there. Anything fired from it makes no sound, so no sound from the shots from it. And then once per long rest, it can fire a beguiling bolt, which if it hits, the target makes a DC 14 saving throw or is charmed by her for an hour, or you, I guess now, for an hour. It is attunement, I'll point that out. But the charm ends if you or any of your allies do anything harmful to the person charmed. So it kind of functions almost like a charm person spell. Like they're charmed for an hour, but if you do anything that's going to threaten their life or hurt them, then it breaks the charm immediately. So, and that's it.
Nice.
Interesting.
Was that cloak also magical?
I'll hold up that cloak.
It is. It is a cloak of elven kind.
Oh shit.
Oh, snap.
We all like that.
Also, as just a reminder for the people who at home, and then also again for the party. So we currently have the rule in place that attunement slots are tied to your proficiency bonus, just as a reminder. But eventually you'll have more than 3 magic items to be attuned to. But currently, as your proficiency bonus is 2, it's 2, just as a point of fact. And that's it. That's all I had to say about that.
Nice.
So, yeah,
All
did
right.
you want to pick up anything else? I don't know what kind of gold you have. I think
Yeah,
you
no.
spend a lot of it, right?
We just spent so much money. We have collectively plus the group fund right now is 45 gold.
Okay.
Plus whatever anybody has. So nothing from Cujo. I've got 16 and whatever Bronson has.
Oh, I'm sure you completely cleaned me out.
All right.
So
So you bought the bag of holding, and we're holding off on arcane synthesis since we don't have any money right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
But we all gotta try it. Or at least
Unless you wanted to sell the staff, which, we can make some rolls, but we're looking at somewhere between like the 500 to 750 range for the staff.
What does the staff
Man.
do?
dude, the staff is sweet.
It is
+1 to armor class. It's got 10 charges. You can cast shield for 1 and mage armor for 2.
Oh, I love that staff.
But it's for sorcerers, wizards, and warlocks
and bards now.
and bards now.
They
which
added
none
bard.
of us are. But if we could get it converted to a shield that does +1 and can cast shield, then I believe the term is hell yeah.
that would be pretty beefy. That or
Yeah.
a set of armor, maybe?
Yeah. Anything. I know Bronson uses a shield, so
Hmm.
and he wants better armor. So that was
You
my
really
whole
never
thought.
get a shield upgrade class. Like they're always just +2 and then an effect. So
Yeah.
like that would be a huge upgrade on the shield. Because I'm gonna be holding out for plate armor.
Plus, you don't get any reactions pretty much ever.
I only
As a
have
player.
sanctuary, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
and
almost.
opportunity.
If it gives me shield on top of it, then I have one round that's pretty well unstoppable unless it's a crit.
All right, hypothetically, if I did have a little bit more money, how much would we need? Around 250?
That was the number, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, wow, yes, 250. Wow, so much. No guarantee. Check the
how
fine
about
print.
This scroll of silence. How much would you give us for that? What is that? Second level spell?
It is a
That's
second.
got to
level
be
spell.
worth a little bit of money.
Yeah, but it's consumable, so I think it is automatically cut in half. The price wise. Let me
Is that
see.
Ted saying that, or is that?
No,
I was
that's
gonna say it's so weird. His voice it stopped being all crazy.
well, consumable magic items not as much as permanent ones. So perhaps we cut that price in half. Well, it's also a very useful spell if you're going to be sneaky.
Yeah. Or if you're trying to stop a spellcaster from using verbal components.
I would give you 150 gold pieces. A scroll of silence.
All right.
I would consider making an investment in the possibility of this being an option for dear Bronson,
Gable,
provided that I get paid back at some point.
That sounds very fair. Have you considered joining the brand?
What up? Legends of Adventurers coming through with the big raid right now.
Oh shit!
What's up, guys?
boys?
What's up?
Oh, you're missing all of the crazy magic item nonsense that's happening right now.
Yes, we finished almost killing ourselves and each other.
Almost.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'll tell you what. If it can be paid back, I have no problem lending another 100 gold. It just means my personal funds may be a little light for the time being.
Well, that extra 100 will get us right there. Gable, I appreciate you and everything you're willing to do. Bronson, do you want to give him your shield? And we'll see if we can make this baby work.
Look over at my hand like I have I have two calluses where the leather hits the leathery arm of myself. I'm like, I'm gonna take the shield and pass it by.
All right. And he says, "Wow, magic time! Wow!" Takes it and he goes and he puts it in the back. And he says, "Well, I'll see you in 2 days." And he goes into the back.
2 days? I thought he said it was gonna be a day.
He said maybe 2. It's a magical shield, Bronson. 2 days is fast.
Just think of how many drinking contests you can have during that time.
Look down at my arms. You can see one is visibly like I have a warhammer in one and the shield in the other. But even the shield, my left hand's it's just a little bit beefier than my right.
Sure. He goes, "Well, you come back 2 days. We'll make some rolls and we'll see what happens."
So dangerous. I love this. Your shield's gone forever.
It's a shield. You could buy a new shield.
Hey, Sir Drew, maybe I'm thinking about picking up golf.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna put now that I can swing my warhammer with 2 hands. Yeah, I'm gonna try to punt a pine cone as far as I can.
I don't really know if this would work, but like, do you think? Hey, hang on, I got an idea. Let's get away from Bishop, go stand over there.
All right, I do.
Open up your mouth.
I dislike this.
Now,
open up my mouth.
Bronson, see if you can hit a good berry into his mouth.
Oh, it's a wonderful idea. I roll that sumbitch out. Oh yeah, here we go.
I just think
it's been a long time since the Lion of Leyland took one of these shots. All right, here we go. Best shot. Oh, it's a nat one. It is a nat one. Yes.
All right. So what do we do? What happens? How do we want to play this? Because like in my head, you could crush the Goodberry, but that's not as fun. Do you lose the Warhammer and just like the Warhammer goes flying at his face? Like,
Oh, GM, have fun with this one. Wherever you want to go.
Oh, boy.
I'm here to ride the dragon.
Oh no.
oh no! All right. Oh man.
I can't be more humiliated than getting that. It's been a bad day, so just do what you gotta do, Ted.
Oh.
All right. I guess roll me a d8 there, Brownson.
You sure don't want me to roll a D10 since I got
Oh,
both
it's
hands
two.
on
It's
it?
versatile.
two-handed.
Roll me a
Ooh.
d10.
Yeah, here, that's a 5 plus 3, so it's an 8.
8 points of damage in those shiny teeth as that Warhammer just.
He went there. Oh.
You know,
No.
it's just one of those. It's like what? Oh,
Mm.
It's
and you
the
just and
slow-mo guys
you just
on it,
watch. You just watch. You track it as it's just like, and it just watch and droops like, oh no. End over end, this just Warhammer just whack right into your open mouth. Wow, what a hit!
I am going to run over and immediately channel the divinity this man a new mouth.
Okay. All right.
I'm yeah, I don't care. It
pierced
says
my
I can only
lip.
use half the points.
No, it's
No,
fine. Yeah.
I'm making sure this man doesn't have Droop's teeth anymore.
Yeah, that's
You know
fair.
what? That's what the other half. I fixed Droop's teeth with half of it, and I fixed Bishop's teeth with the other half.
Holy
Stop,
shit.
Bronson. Why would you do this to me?
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it seemed like
I'm sorry. I'm not used to it. I always swing with one hand. I'm so sorry. Oh, don't look at it. It's okay. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
My
Like,
tooth is through my lip.
oh,
Your-
this is a Mick Foley
your
action
teeth
right here.
No.
Oh, this is. I throw up a little bit. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a battle medic. Sorry. Yeah, hold on. We gotta apply some pressure. Kind of
where is
bubbles up
soot?
like a bad volcano. Oh God. Hold on. A little bit more. A few more points. When magic just isn't nearly as sexy as it sometimes is. But yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna finish my handiwork. DM, when I'm done,
Yeah.
does his new mug blink?
Yeah, he's still got his twinkly teeth.
It is loose, Bronson. It is a loose tooth now. But I think I'm gonna lay on hands.
You just finish healing your teeth.
I'm vain. I'll do this. I'll spend 12 lay on
Oh.
hands points.
I mean, I don't know if it's as vain as casting Featherfall so your boots don't get wet, but either way.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
that's a good
Oh.
idea. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What?
The adventurous community is like,
What the fuck? Yeah.
What did we
I
walk
saw
into?
just a nasty ass crit for a second. I was like, oh man,
Oh.
I don't want any part of that.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Oh,
that was certainly
Hilarious.
something. All right, so you're leaving the shield for arcane synthesis. We'll make some rolls in a couple of days to see, or in 2 days in game to see whether or not we are able to combine to some degree the glass staff of defense with a shield in some form. See what we can get out of that. Let's see. And we also now have a new quest of Deceased Reese.
Yep.
To kind of figure out the remainder of those people. And then basically, I think at the moment right now, we do have glass staff, but we're looking to turn it into some sort of glass shield. I don't know. Would you want a shield that looks like if it's as sturdy as a shield, but it looks like glass? Is that more of a is that a good thing or a bad thing? I guess you could see through it, but then they can see through it. I don't know if that's
I
good or
kind of
bad.
feel like it would be like a normal shield, but with like a thick ass layer of glass in the front.
Yeah, and I think that would be pretty badass if you just carry this huge, thick piece of glass around with you.
I
then he
want it
doesn't
to
have to
be
wear
the
a shirt
emblem
and
of
you can see his
Shanti in
tattoo.
stained glass on the
It'll-
front of the shield.
How about like
that's
really good etching, not like
Yeah.
really crappy, very textured etching on like certain glasses that you got in the mail that I also got as well, that are like the worst etching I've
Shots
seen
fired.
in my entire life.
But this is D&D we're talking about, so we can have any etchings we want.
That's true.
We paid a premium for these etchings.
It's true, you did. Okay, so
Yeah, the full-on cornucopia, baby.
So I really like. I like that chat said a big old Prince Rupert's drop, which is great, and I like that somebody else in chat tried to correct them as Prince Albert's drop, which is even worse. Oh God!
The real glass staff you got going on there.
Oh no!
I
Oh
won't
God!
lie. Every time I see Nicol Bolas from Magic, I go, "No, that's a piercing up there. That's not horns."
So another thing that I'll just point out to everybody in chat, and I haven't figured out a way to truly implement it with chat yet, but something that you guys may or may not know is you saw an introduction there to Tilverton, our silver dragonborn who has a certain specific voice that gets more unhinged that everybody seems to like. He has a rotating list of magic items that I generate randomly every week before we get into game. So the list that he currently has, the party will have access to potentially purchase between now and the start of the stream next week. And then I will have a new list for them that will be what's available currently. And I'm generating that every week. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can actually have chat or other people help come up with ideas for what to put in there so that you guys can help come up with ideas for what to drop. Because it's basically just been kind of randomly determined. Scrolls, potions, bag of holding came up on a random determination, which led to basically the entire effort of tonight. How do we find enough money to buy a bag of holding?
We did.
And they did.
We did.
We won D&D.
It didn't have to get
actually. That is a great idea. No, it was a channel point redemption queue. We might do something like that. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
You can pitch some horrible items like a hag of bolding, just a really aggressive hag. I don't know.
Don't tempt them. They'll do it.
They will.
Hey, chat, do it. Let's do it.
Chekhov's gun, and it just goes off at some point.
Yeah. Chekhov's wand of fireballs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck!
I debated having Halia have a wand of fireball behind the counter. I went with the crossbow instead, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if I could convince the paladin to kill everybody else."
You could have,
and then you just knocked him out. Which was the smartest move, because you could have gone for her, and then it would have...
And he'd also taken a bunch of damage already, so it's like,
No, that was the right play. That was the right play.
No, it was smart, and I'm happy you did it, because I would have been rolling, 3d8 plus 6 damage if I hit any of you.
Yeah,
it's nothing. Okay, but please don't ever do that to me, though.
That's right.
So I guess, we're kind of coming up on time here. We started a little bit later, but we were getting everybody up to speed. So next week, we should be back here on Wednesday night, starting probably at 8:30, which is the actual start time, Eastern time. And LB should be back, so we should have the whole party with us, which will be interesting to see how she's introduced to Gable. Our newest Catman party member here. A lot of cat themes we've seen going on lately. And we now have the lemur of Leyland. We now have a flying lemur in the party as well.
And I've decided that I'm gonna call him Pickles because he's my little sweet baby gherkin.
Oh wow. So those trinkets that you guys will see are potentially a channel redemption. We'll add something about the queue for that for channel points, but the trinkets are also from a custom list of 100 trinkets that I've developed for every single class in D&D, including things like the Artificer and the Blood Hunter, because a lot of you guys like to play those as well. So you can get anything from obviously, a little Happy Meal toy that roars to a pet lemur. There's some real fan favorites that exist out there. Everybody's favorite is the Monk Monocle that you can put on that lets you read the power level of any of your enemies.
Some of these are legitimate magic items, and some of them are moss underwear.
We allowed it to let the monk tell the challenge rating of any of the creatures that they looked at with the monocle.
That's cool.
So that was a thing. Also, one of the monk magic items is a ball with a randomly determined 1 through 7 number of stars in the middle. And it's never happened.
No?
But if they rolled it 7 times, I was gonna figure some shit out for having all 7 Dragon Balls.
Yeah,
It sounds like they
definitely
get
at
a
least
wish.
a free wish. Yeah,
I mean, pretty much, right? Like you summon Shenron and you get a wish. Like that's just
Like
how
a-
it works.
like a straight up good wish. Like only what you want to happen happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I feel like that makes sense. I also am really excited because I have this. We're gonna end here in just a sec. We'll go around the horn and have everybody kind of introduce or outroduce themselves, I guess, if you will, because we're gonna do that. But this book from the folks at Gemhammer and Son, Rollock's Guide to Violence. This is a book all about stuff for like martial classes and things, and like it has not only a bunch of subclasses and feats, but it also has secret techniques. And I want to incorporate some of them into this game where you may be able to find like a master who could teach you different kinds of secret techniques that you'd be able to use. Also, there's one thing in here, a feat tree called Buffoon, and each level of Buffoon you take gives you a -1 to all of your rolls, and if you take it like 5 of them and then get all the way to like the last one, it just gives you stupid crazy bonuses to everything, but you've had to have like a -5 to all of your rolls for multiple levels.
That's fantastic.
It's
Do it. I don't roll well.
yeah, it's wild. It has like this crazy, it's called Committed Perseverance, which is if you've taken like 5 different feats over the course of your career to give you a -1 to everything, it gives you a +5 to all ability scores. Because
Holy shit.
but you've had -1 to everything for, presumably starting at a low level, because you're starting at high level, it loses some of its power.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also has secret techniques that I want to possibly incorporate into this game. Listen,
Yeah.
there's the 4.5 finger death punch in here, so that's right up.
This is the perfect time.
Yeah. So we might have to do that. And there is more or less one that I have pretty much earmarked for Jake, which they call it the Dance of Death, but really what I'm going to call it is the 6 Gates technique, which is each time you just get ridiculously powerful, but if you stay in it for too long, you get a level of exhaustion for each turn you stay in this technique. So after 6 turns, you just die.
At the end of combat, you just die.
Yeah, at the end of combat, you would just die. Yeah, if you went 6 turns
Ooh.
All
in
right.
this, which I thought would be a very Jake thing to just be like. I don't know why. That just feels like a thing.
I'll go. You know me. I'll go in.
I know,
Like
I
I,
know.
said up top, I said, "Get out." I'd like to die. Well, I was talking about rolling dice, but if I'll die for the team, no doubt. Just make sure you take all my magic items.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely not beforehand when I'm ruffling through your bag or anything.
That'd be rude.
yeah.
You-
So
you
we'll have
hurt
to.
my feelings.
We'll have to.
I got my teeth knocked out tonight, and you stabbed me. You hit me with a warhammer.
I non-lethally stabbed you. It
Yes.
just hurt a lot.
That's true. That's a very, very good point.
Yes.
and I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
And then
It just
Drew
I went
saved
for
my life.
pain, not damage.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. I
LB's
think.
gonna get back. I'm gonna be like, they were bullies.
They were
bullied
me.
But anyway, yeah. We'll wait till Robert gets back, and then we'll give our little outro here. But thank you to everybody who's coming out from the Adventurous crew. Thank you from everybody who's just hanging out from the beginning. We love having you all here, and you definitely come up with good ideas. Droop kind of becoming a party member was all of you guys, so
That's amazing.
they really want him to just be a permanent party member, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not making a DMPC to follow the party around. Like,
You keep saying it, but he's so lovable, and he's got a great voice.
Yep.
And he rolled 2 natural 20s
in a row, and
in a row.
and it's not even my regular die. It's not
Yeah.
even my normal natural 20 rolling die. It's this new one that I got.
Ted, it's
Same.
I think it's just you. I don't think it's
Yeah.
dice. I think you're lucky.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
me.
the natural 20 was in you all along.
Yeah, it's the natural 20 we found along the way. All right, well,
There's only one thing that's going to keep Droop in our campaign, and chat, that's you. You're the only thing that can keep pushing Ted to include Droop.
Keep the droop.
Yeah.
Keep the droop.
Yeah.
I actually thought I wasn't sure if Bronson was just gonna off him because he's got this hatred for goblins.
No, I became my
Go on.
child.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'll go down
he
the
made me
line.
see the world through a new lens.
Yeah, a drunken.
He's a craftsman too. It called like, even though I'm a cleric of Shantae, all roads lead back to Moradin. So
Sure.
he respects a good craftsman.
Well, why don't I have you go ahead there, Robert, and give us your spiel, who you are on the internet, where people can find you, all that good stuff.
Hey, I'm Captain Robert, and I'm Captain Robert at everything on the internet, and we play D&D all the time over on my channel. Just like you guys saw earlier this weekend when Evantra stopped by. You guys are great. Love y'all. Thanks for stopping in.
All right, Jake, how about you?
Yeah, you guys can listen to my podcast on Spotify and everything else. That's at Legends Rerolled. We replay classic stories through Titterpigs, TTRPGs. So
Stop trying to make it
come check
happen.
us out.
I hate that I made that video. And now
Oh,
it's
yeah,
trying
I'm
to...
never gonna let it go,
about that
Ted.
video.
Never gonna let it go.
Cujo, how about you?
Hi, I am Cujo of Cujo Plays Games. You can find me at Cujo Plays Games across all major social media platforms, along with at Crit Hit Chronicles, unless it's X, or formerly known as Twitter, where it's Crit Hit Chron, because character limits are a thing. But I'm a variety streamer. You'll typically find me on Twitch and Instagram. Those are the two big ones. And this weekend, I'll be playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if you want to jump in, by all means, you are more than welcome to.
With a nice pack.
With an ice pack, yeah, for sure.
Constant. I'm going to open my refrigerator right next to the PlayStation 5 just so it's constantly chilled.
Mine's been good. Mine's never gotten like that either. But I hear, like, all I ever hear is horror stories from everyone else. I think they just like leave theirs on all the time or something.
That might be
That
true.
sounds like it. Yeah.
Never clean it out or anything.
There's that too.
Yeah, that'll. If you live in a world of dust, this is what will happen to your life.
True story.
Well, anyway, and I'm Ted. This is Nerd Immersion. This is my channel where we stream this game every Wednesday, and we stream a handful of other things, Baldur's Gate 3, random streams of just me chatting at people for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, I do all sorts of things on the internet, mostly over on the YouTubes. We do unboxings and other different things, interviews. I've started a new series converting a bunch of stuff from Baldur's Gate 3 over to usage in 5e, which, funnily enough, there is the Shield of Shielding in Baldur's Gate 3, which might be what we just convert to use in this game.
Go.
So we might just do that for this if the rolls are made properly for the glass staff of shielding to be a thing. So
You only know proper.
well, and you know what? Somehow we managed to yet again have a game where the entire party wasn't here, and we still didn't really progress the story that far along without the whole team. Which I'm actually pretty impressed of our ability to just bullshit off the cuff and like get story bits unlocked without being like, hey, let's not do the main quest without the whole team together. And we've done that twice.
Really upset that we blew up the House of Rocks.
Yeah.
That's gonna take a little
got
bit.
her one really nice rock. I think that'll mollify.
And also the fact that she just joined forces with the Zentarum unknowingly and you just murdered her.
What? No, technically, we didn't murder her.
She did.
Murdered herself.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
Just saying.
Boulder seppuku.
Yeah. Yeah, I also wonder if that, like, to some degree, if that bothers Gable, that he didn't get to do the killing blow.
It'll be something we can dive into for sure.
All right.
I'd be willing to explore that.
I'm just curious because I feel like Beatrice Kiddo would have been real pissed if she couldn't like.
There's always another
Would
guy,
have
right?
saved her life.
There's
to
always-
kill her.
There's always another guy, and also, let's be honest, she was a low-level thug. Like,
Yeah.
if Reese does something like that, that would be a major letdown. But like,
I don't
she
want to
was
see what
an attendant.
Reese's house looks like. Good God.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I'm gonna have to go watch Kill Bill again.
Yes.
Figure-
Yeah, favorite movies.
We'll have what's his face, Crag or whatever his name was. He'll be the guy. He lives in the trailer park with the shotgun.
Oh, so good.
Your side quest is gonna get us murdered.
It's gonna be great, guys. I don't see what the problem is.
It already almost got me murdered
By me.
by you. Yes, you almost murdered me over this already.
Oh.
But more importantly, we also learned why there's contention between Leyland and Luskin.
Yes.
It's all over the lemur trade.
That is the real lesson learned here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
Pickles.
Pickles the lemur. LB's gonna lose it over that. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next week.
Night.
Mind Flair, goodbye.